From Hollywood, it's time for Tic Tac Ho. I'm sorry, is that...
No, I would have watched that game show every day. I would have learned a lot.
Tic Tac Ho.
That would have been must-watch material for any young boy. Mid-1970s, mid-1980s.
You know why I'm playing this, Fester?
Oh, man. Yeah. I have to admit, I haven't thought of this guy in a couple of years, several years. I can't think of the last time I thought of this guy.
You know what? I thought of Wink Martindale. It's been the last couple of months. It was something that was game show related, and you know my affection and my affinity, and Michelle can attest to that. My affection for game show music.
Yes.
I just have always loved game show music. You know, at the ready, I have one of my favorites, you know, our thinking music, which, of course, is... What show is that, Fester?
It's Match Game.
That is correct. I even have all the game show sound effects at my ready. Which one is this?
Let's see. Something $1,000 pyramid.
Yeah, it's the pyramid. So
Yeah.
it used to be like the $10,000 pyramid. Then it went to the $20,000. Then I think it was the $25,000. Then the $100,000 pyramid. And then I believe Elon Musk is going to launch later in the year the $5 billion pyramid.
You know, and I'll watch that too.
And of course, the Family Feud. You knew what that was, right?
Of course.
Okay, Family Feud. And of course, you know, The Price is Right.
Yeah.
And of course, with the Price is Right music, I also have the Come On Down music. That's right. And also the Mountain Climber game. Yeah. Also, I have all various like Price is Right prize music cues, like when they open the doors and there's a new car and all that. And
I've always thought The Price is Right was the most robust of the game shows.
The best music.
With the music,
best sound effects.
Because they have so many opportunities to do the different music. The other shows, it's just kind of the same thing all the time.
It's the intro, the outro, and then
a new car.
A new car!
Exactly.
You know, Michelle, I tell you, man, just a couple of different life decisions. You could have been a Barker Beauty.
Hey, and the reason why, of course, we're bringing this up is because Wink Martindale, famous game show host Wink Martindale, news broke yesterday that he died at the age of 91. Hey, Andrew, on sound page 19, can you put my other Price is Right cues? We have a couple of various Price is Right, like prize cue music. If you could put those up there, if you don't mind. Yeah, but look, also the Price is Right. I use this one all the time. You know the loser horns from the Price is Right.
Yeah.
And then there was a dude that worked here from the Price is Right. Rich
Fields?
Rich
Fields.
Yeah, Rich Fields. He worked at Q105, and he was one of the announcers on The Price is Right. Of course, the original was like Johnny Olson. Then it was
the big fat guy.
Rod Roddy.
Thank you, Rod Roddy. And then at some point, Rich Fields, and is he a weather guy? Hey, Andrew, is Rich Fields still a weather guy around town? Does he still do what does he? All right, but you know he was working at Q105 for quite some time. In fact, he brought additional Price is Right sounds to Q105. I'm scrolling through the page here on the computer.
So you inherited Q105 sound effects from an actual guy that worked there?
Well, hang on a sec. I've always had this. All right, so I've been using that one for years. I was the first one ever to use that on morning radio, ever in the history of American broadcasting. Another sound effect, which I ripped off from NBC from their satellite feed, and this is a funny story. Oh, God. I wanted this sound so badly. They used to run that on NBC promos, like mid-'90s. And on Friends, will the monkey, wreck the coffee shop? They used to run that noise in NBC promos all the time, and I had to have it, and I couldn't find it. So, I socially engineered some BS. I called up to NBC. Remember, I had the satellite dish at the house.
It was the
So
best.
I had this old satellite dish at the house, the big, huge dish. I got C-band and Ka-band, and I used to get all the NBC promo channels, and that's how we were able to watch Tom Brokaw and Brian Williams, able to watch them unfiltered during nightly news where they left the whole camera and mic open, and that's where I'd get all the comments and all kinds of crap. And the reporters doing the live shots on microwave and satellite trucks, et cetera. So NBC had like a promo feed on satellite where they ran all like the promos for all the local affiliates to grab, like all the shows on the network for the week. They ran all the promos for the local stations like Channel 8 locally to record and then run. And I had to have this noise. I couldn't find what sound effects library it was from. I couldn't find it. So I socially engineered a racket. I called up to NBC and I pretended I was like an NBC affiliate promotions director. And I picked like, it might have been Wavy TV 10 in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, my former hometown. And I said, yeah, could we get that dun, dun, dun sound effect? I got a hold of NBC promo up in New York. And they said, yeah, we'll have it on the Thursday 12 noon promo feed for you. And literally, I'm rolling just videotape. This was originally recorded on a VHS rolling tape on my satellite dish from the NBC television network promo feed back in like the mid to late 90s. So I was the first one to grab that sound effect. And then since it was in the system over at J-Core, Clear Channel, iHeart, then it got stolen, and then all the other folks in radio in the market, you had passed through that building, stole the sound effect. So whenever you hear this noise used by any other radio guy in town, you'll know how I snagged it from the NBC satellite promo feed after I lied to them.
Yeah, I mean, that sound effect has been harvested by radio shows across the country.
Yeah. So, but I was the genesis of grabbing that sound effect. And I still don't know what actual sound effects library or where the hell that came from. All I know is that I ripped it off from NBC after I pretended I was an NBC affiliate and I needed it. And they ran it on a promo feed down the satellite line. So, where did all this start?
Wink Martindale's dead.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Wink Martindale, 91 years old. That's a hell of a run. So Wink Martindale, rest in peace. Oh, I got to find the Rich Fields page. So there's a whole bunch of sound effects from The Price is Right that Rich Fields, former announcer for The Price is Right, that worked here. There's a page here. Let me find the page, and it's some of his sound effects. And why can't I find the damn thing? Yeah, I can't find it now, but it had like the whoop, whoop, whoop and the horns and everything. Andrew, do you know where that sound effects page is? Here it is. Here it is. I think I found it. All right, so he has the loser horns. All right, you get a little different sound quality. Oh, here's his ding, 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 dings from The Price is Right. Yeah, you can hear that. That's got obviously a very familiar sound. Oh, and when some big prize is won on the Price is Right, I don't know. Is it when you spin the wheel, you get $1, you spin again, and then you get $1 again, you win the big prize, or you get the
$10,000,
or you hit the green ones, and see, that's another big sound effect. But I'm a game show nerd, and when I heard that Wink Martindale from Tic Tac Dough, a lot of folks are saying High Rollers too.
Yeah,
that was Alex Trebek for the most part. High Rollers was Alex Trebek. And Wink Martindale, I think, only did like one season of High Rollers in some other syndicated version or something. But Wink Martindale's real claim to fame was Tic Tac Dough. And I'm telling you, they should have revived it as Tic Tac Ho.
Yeah.
That would have been big. Absolutely. All right.
They really missed an opportunity.
Man, we're just getting rolling. It is 6:10. It's going to be a loaded Wednesday. Oh, I got a question from Michelle next. Michelle, there's something I've never noticed about you. So, something I've never noticed about my wife, I will bring it up next on the MJ Morning Show. Hang on, folks.
Good morning.
live. It's 104.7 FM. MJ Fester, Michelle. Welcome, everybody. To our early listeners, thank you so much. We highly appreciate it. Wednesday morning, last commercial break. The last commercial. The last spot in the last, in the biz, we call it a stop set, right? So the last commercial we ran was Indeed.
Can we pull it up? I didn't hear it.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I mean, can Andrew pull it up?
Andrew, can you put the Indeed commercial or any Indeed commercial? Can you put it on my page 19 soundboard over here? All right. So, yeah, if you can, that'd be great. So, Indeed it's a job search website.
Yeah.
Indeed. What are the other job search websites? There's a number of them out there. I just have what?
Something with Monster.
Yeah, it sounds like I was like one of the original one, Monster.com.
Yeah.
So
ZipRecruiter.
oh yeah, ZipRecruiter. Yeah.
But you don't really hear about that one anymore. You hear mostly Indeed.
Indeed, right? I've seen them. I've heard them both do advertising from
Yeah.
time to time, but
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Indeed is pretty big. And we played this audio yesterday of, here's an Indeed commercial. Is this the same one we just ran? Hang on a minute. Let me see.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
All right, so this
Hi,
is,
Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
oh, yeah.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
Oh.
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience
Right.
to sift through hundreds of
Doctor.
resumes.
Hold
I
on.
need Indeed.
Indeed, you do.
So-
when you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented.
All right, so wait a minute. He's looking for new doctors on Indeed? I would think you're looking for maybe a
Doctor,
receptionist on Indeed. I know you're looking.
No.
find me somebody that can remove this gallbladder right now.
Yes, Michelle?
There are really high paying jobs on Indeed.
Okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
a lot of
And-
these websites for jobs have replaced headhunters.
Yes.
You know, whereas that was more of like a transactional person-to-person relationship. These sites now is where they go and they meet other people.
right,
Indeed,
so-
LinkedIn, Glassdoor,
Yep.
Monster.
There you go.
ZipRecruiter.
All right, so LinkedIn is, but that's more of a social networking.
No, LinkedIn is all
LinkedIn-
about your. You don't have a LinkedIn page?
No.
Who's going to find you for your next gig?
Guess what? I don't have a LinkedIn page.
You need a
I-
LinkedIn page with a list of all of everything you've done.
I've got a Stinktin page. That's what I have. I want to start that website, Stinktin.
Our kids have LinkedIn pages.
I don't.
Why?
What do I need a LinkedIn page for?
Well,
why
it
do
helps,
I?
it helps connect people in the professional world.
I
Like,
don't want to be connected with anybody in the
Okay,
professional
well,
world.
okay, you're a loner.
All right, so,
Outside of talking on this radio show, I don't want to talk to anybody.
all right, so let me get back to LinkedIn. So
All right.
yesterday, we had this audio bite. This guy's on. This popped up in my reels as I'm scrolling, and this guy is warning people: be very, very careful if you go out on a job interview from LinkedIn. All right, listen to this dude.
If you, I need everybody to listen to me.
Oh, yeah.
Listen up.
Hey, listen up.
Everybody.
Everybody, listen up.
If you are in Florida,
And then also, Florida, right? This is another reason why it was important. If you are here in Florida, listen up. Listen up, everybody.
and you've been job searching on Indeed,
If you've been job searching on Indeed here in Florida,
be careful.
oh, be very, very careful.
People are literally ending up missing.
People,
Literally ended up missing.
what the hell is this guy talking
Wow,
about?
he's right.
People are ending up missing.
By thinking they're going to interviews, and it turns out they're being, you know what.
They're being, what, kidnapped, murdered, dismembered, disappeared.
Please be careful, guys.
Yeah, be careful.
Indeed jobs. Be careful on that website, guys. They're using the website to meet up with people, and then when you get there, it's no job. It's just a white van.
What you think you're going to an office, but no, it's just a parking lot with a white van.
That's it.
It's, you know what? It's an abandoned industrial complex. It's an old factory that's been shuttered since the late 80s, and there's just a white van. Hey, where's the job interview? Oh, inside the white van. Hey, climb inside the white van for your interview. What the hell is this guy talking about? Has Indeed tracked this guy down and sent him a cease and desist order,
Yeah,
Would anybody have been reported missing yet? I mean,
Yeah.
haven't seen a rash of missing people headed to a job interview and then they're gone.
And y'all know what I mean. I can't really be too, about it, but y'all know what I mean. Here in Florida, I need y'all to be safe because I care. I'm dead serious. Be safe out there, guys.
There's so much garbage on social media.
I do believe he cares. I mean, that's
Yeah. He cares about followers and trying to get 3 million views. That's what this guy cares about. So when I heard the Indeed commercial in the last commercial set, I'm like, holy crap, we just talked about Indeed yesterday and played this audio bite from this online social media video where this guy's trying to invent. He's trying to start a rumor about going on Indeed. What is this guy's end game? Well, listen, we've talked about the crap on social media. And what about, and we talked about this also, the folks that are shooting videos that are like shaggy dog videos that go nowhere. You know what a shaggy dog story is, right? You ever heard that term? It's kind of an old. It's really kind of old.
Have a resolution.
Yeah, it's just like this long, drawn out story, and it tends to be very repetitive. And I had a camp counselor back when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old that used to tell us these shaggy dog stories. So that's when I first learned about it. And I don't think the term is used a whole lot, but it's a shaggy dog story. A pointless, senseless story, repetitive, long. And the ending, the punchline is like this innocuous nothing. It's like, you just wasted all my time telling me this 10-minute story, and it ends with just like, it's anticlimactic. It's like just a dud.
And you didn't want to punch him?
Yeah, and so that's where you learn to do Shaggy's dog stories?
We stop. Anyway.
Let's talk about New York pizza.
That's not a shaggy. That's not a shaggy dog story.
Let's talk about scuba diving.
And it's not just New York pizza. It's just good pizza in general, because 97% of pizza out there sucks, and only about 3% of pizza passes my taste test, my sniff test, my smell test.
Let's talk about scuba diving.
Yeah.
The punchline is, I saw fish.
Fess, will you shut up?
No fish.
Why does it sound like you're off mic all of a sudden?
I don't know. Yeah. I'm shouting into this mic. I see you looking at me. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm speaking any louder.
Andrew,
I'm legitimately yelling.
Can you have the engineers send a message to the engineers when they get in this morning? Fester mic problem. And it just seems like it's developed recently.
It could be the talent. I mean, I'm not very good at this.
You can have my microphone.
No. And Michelle, you got to stop holding your mic because you're making like...
because it doesn't stay up.
Well,
where do you want me to sit? You want me to scrunch over, and I'm going to get that hunchback thing if I do it.
This studio's an ass.
I told you to bring me a twist tie.
Yeah, this studio's
and then it would have been staying up like that.
This place is an ass factory,
It sure is.
Anyway, so where the hell was it? Oh, the Indeed thing. So just ignore that guy. I don't think that anyone's getting kidnapped in a white van or getting murdered in a white van while going for a job interview that they found on Indeed.
Yeah, as far as we know, Indeed is very reputable, and people find jobs through their site.
Yeah, all right. I just thought that was important to point that again for the early listeners that might not have heard that yesterday here on the MJ Morning Show. So what have I just noticed about my wife that I've never noticed before?
That I'm a female?
Yeah.
You noticed that day one.
Yeah. No, it's nothing physical.
Oh, okay.
And it's not something that I should have noticed years ago, or maybe so.
That I like butter?
No. I've just noticed about this today. It's something you're wearing. I've never seen you wear this sweater, sweatshirt, whatever the hell this is. I've never seen you wear this before.
Because I just got it yesterday.
Well, that explains it, doesn't it now?
Okay.
Can you stand up? You got to stay. Hey, Andrew, Michelle's going to stand up and let me know. Can we see this? Can you see what she's wearing? You got it? Yes. So I'm looking at Michelle this morning, and we walk into the studio, and I see she's wearing this green sweatshirt that reads whiskey weather. And I'm like, I've never seen this. I've never seen this before. Whiskey weather? And now I know I've never seen it because you just got it yesterday?
MJ, I looked
over.
Oh,
is that among the pile of Amazon piles that showed up at the door?
It wasn't from Amazon.
I had a whole bunch of crap.
There are other outlets out there to purchase from off the internet.
Where did you get this?
Etsy.
You bought that on Etsy?
Yes.
How much was that?
$26. I don't know, something like that. Maybe $14.
So this is whiskey weather?
Could be.
Well, it is in the morning at 5 o'clock when you're making me get out of bed, and it's still a little chilly.
Can you explain?
Then I wear a T-shirt underneath in case it gets too hot in here, because you keep telling me it's going to get hot in here. So then I have a T-shirt on underneath, so when I do get hot.
Oh, it is hot. It's hot as crap in here. This studio is the worst.
MJ, I swear to God, I looked over at her this morning. I thought it said whisker weather. And I'm like, I don't think she likes cats that much. I mean, what's that?
Oh, I
all
thought
about?
maybe using a whisk to like bake a cake or something. Whisker weather. All right, hold on. I want to get into this a little later on because I want to delve into your new whiskey weather sweatshirt.
Okay, there is a genesis for it, by the way.
Well, hang on. We'll deal with this next hour. I just don't have time now. We got morons in the news coming up next. Don't move, folks. 6:33 MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, my. Are on. Pretty tasty pile today.
Yes, a very tasty pile.
Delicious pile. By the way, I changed your microphone out, Fester. Let's see if it sounds any better. Yeah, Fester's mic has not been sounding good.
I mean, this mic has been in the studio, what, for 40 years?
But,
I mean, it's time for this microphone to die.
Well, people have complained that Fester was getting hard to hear, and
I've heard it before. I mean, we on the YouTube feed that I've seen videos of.
You know what? It sounds better right now.
Does it?
It does. It sounds like you're a little bit more present and not like echoey and yelling from the background.
Well,
all right, early morons of the news. Let's go. Oh, this is foul. A woman defiled a beer cave at a convenience store.
oh no!
Oh my God.
Oh no!
The cameras in the convenience store caught the woman in the act. You've seen the convenience stores that have the beer cave where it's like a walk-in refrigerated room.
Yeah.
You know, locally, who's got a beer cave? I think some convenience stores have the walk-in beer cooler, right?
I've seen them before. Maybe, I want to say a Circle K has
Yeah,
them.
Andrew just said, our producer just said the same thing in my ear off the air, that some Circle Ks have beer caves. See, I'm not a beer consumer. That's why I don't have a ready inventory list of places with beer caves, because I don't drink beer. If you're a regular MJ Morning Show listener, you've heard that I drink red wine and I drink whiskey. I'm W&W, man. Wine and whiskey, those are my choices. I just hate the taste of beer. I do not drink beer. So listen to this. The woman turns out that she works for a a school. She's a school administrator for nutrition, I guess for a county in Pennsylvania. She's been arrested for committing this horrific, foul act inside a beer cave at a convenience store up in Pennsylvania. An employee at a Royal Farms location, Hanover, that's like in the middle of Amish country, isn't it? Isn't that like a lot of pretzels come from Hanover?
Maybe.
I get my Amish hard pretzels out of Akron, Pennsylvania, not Ohio, Pennsylvania. So Royal Farms, I guess it's like a convenience store chain up there. An employee called cops to report that an unknown woman had come in the previous day and pooped in the beer cave. Oh, God. As described in a probable cause affidavit, the beer cave is a walk-in cooler open to the public to select cooled beverages. All the doors of the beer cave and cooled areas are clear glass, providing visuals of the inside from the common area inside the store. A police review of the store's security footage showed the suspect pushing a case of alcoholic beverages back on the shelf, pulling her pants down, and then defecating on the shelf and then leaving. Cameras recorded the woman arriving at Royal Farms in an SUV. The vehicle's registered owner, identified as Crystal Goss, 47 years old. She was the individual driving the car when the offense occurred. A driver's license photo of Goss matched the subject depicted in the surveillance footage. So you know what happened here?
Yeah.
An employee walks into the beer cave, or maybe a customer said, "Oh my God, there's a horrific smell in the beer cave," or there's a smell. A customer or maybe an employee went into the beer cave and they noticed that somebody pooped on the shelf in the beer cave. So you know what they did? Then they go back and they look at the surveillance footage, because clearly they've got a camera either pointing toward the door or maybe inside the beer cave. And then they're able to say, "Oh, my God, this is the person." And they caught the person in the act on surveillance video pooping in the beer cave.
This is like the worst thing you can do in a beer cave, right?
Yeah.
Can you think of anything worse? Maybe one or two things?
Yeah. So what happened was the owner of the vehicle was not the woman that pooped. The woman that pooped was driving this vehicle, and the cops were able to look at the license plate number from the surveillance video of the vehicle. Then they hunted down the owner of the vehicle, who then identified the woman who was driving their car that pooped in the beer cave in Pennsylvania. Goss was arrested yesterday for several crimes, including open lewdness, criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct that created a hazardous and physically offensive condition. That's something in the Pennsylvania statutes, according to the complaint. But what we don't know is why Ms. Goss decided to crap in the cave like a bear.
That's so crazy. Just
Do bears crap in bear caves, or do they? I know the old expression, "Does a bear poop in the woods?" You know.
I mean, yeah.
But she caused about $80 worth of damage because they had to throw out any cases of beer that were affected by.
So product got
her dookie.
Got contacted. I mean, this is awful.
I'm sorry. I'm 5 years old.
Yes, you are.
Yes, Fester.
So I started following, and I'm trying to find it, and I can't right now, an Instagram page.
Yeah, that mic sounds better, by the way. It does. Go ahead.
An Instagram page that is dedicated to people who
poop in beer caves at convenience stores
or in public. And it's amazing.
What is it? Poopinginpublic.com.
I got to find it.
Oh, my God.
There's an Instagram page dedicated at public pooping. Yes, that's right.
So listen to this. This lady Goss lives about a mile from the Royal Farms convenience store where she defiled the beer cave. She's the director of food and nutrition for the local Hanover, Pennsylvania school district. I wonder for how much longer. I mean, how do you live that down? It's the middle of the school year. We're coming to close in the next couple of months. But how do you live that down? Everyone's going to know that she's the beer cave pooper.
I mean, that's the rest of her life.
That's her nickname? The beer cave pooper?
Or the cave crapper. I don't know. This is just ridiculous. What a freaking story. All right, let me ask you a question. Why is this guy not being charged federally if the bird is federally protected?
What happened?
This is awful. I had the story yesterday. We had the audio yesterday. We just didn't get around to it. But this happened here in Pinellas County. Two homeowners were going at it. A neighbor saw his neighbor shooting a pellet gun at a protected bird, one of the great blue herons. And, we live on Tampa Bay, Michelle and I and the kid, and we've got him in the backyard all the time. I see him constantly. I've got a little dock in the back, and, we're on the bay, and I see these guys all the time. I love looking at them. They're majestic. They're gorgeous. But there was a fight between two homeowners in Pinellas County because a 42-year-old individual shot a heron, and it was seen by the neighbor. The neighbor then confronts the neighbor. Why did you shoot the heron? And this opened up a full investigation with Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation, FWC, and there's video. And, according to the Channel 8 story, the video begins with the initiator approaching the neighbor who was standing next to a dead great blue heron that was floating in his pool. And the neighbor is confronting his neighbor. Why did you shoot this bird? And apparently the shooter was saying that he was tired of the blue herons on his property, in his backyard, in his pool, near his pool. So the guy shoots the heron with a pellet gun and kills the freaking bird. What is the matter with you?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, I've got some audio here. Let me play the audio from the confrontation. It's like, this is nauseating.
Oh, the police! This is shooting our birds!
So that's the neighbor.
Oh, the police! This is shooting our birds!
This bleepity bleep is shooting our birds. It's illegal. So FWC officers, they show up at the house. This happened back on April 12, and they found the heron dead. They also found a dead male duck, a mallard. Also, this guy's just shooting all the birds. The FWC folks claim that the man said he shot the birds with a pellet gun to keep them away from his pool. This guy's a pool fool is what he is. Yeah, the man recording the video did not want to go on camera, but wanted to bring attention to the situation. I'm guessing that this relationship between the neighbors is going to be strained now. That's what I'm thinking.
Know what? They obviously didn't get along too well before the bird shooting incident.
This is just terrible. So I heard you talking about when you were here in December. No, I said I was going to try to get them away. This is part of the recording. You moved into the bird's house. You cannot kill the animals that live here. The accused bird shooter was cited for violating the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, which was also issued a notice to appear in court. So he was given a state summons, but also these are protected birds federally as well. So shouldn't there be like a federal investigation on top of the FWC state investigation?
Well, the FWC could probably only issue state citations.
No, dude, I just said that.
Well, you said
that
should there be an investigation?
he got a state citation from FWC, which is
which
is a Florida, and that's why I said shouldn't there be also a federal investigation as well?
There shall
Should be state and federal.
I think
My
the federal.
God.
I think the federal guys were cut by Doge.
You know what? They might have been. They're all fired.
They're gone. They're working at Burger King right now.
All right, 6:54. That's Morons in the News on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, when we get back, what would you do if you found this under the sink in a hotel room that you checked into? What would you do? What is it? Next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM Tampa Bay. Tampa, a Beasley Media Group station. You know, we're broadcasting from the Kemp Law Group studios. So I'm not going to play the recorded ID because I just wanted to point out that we just ran a Discover commercial. And that's like a $6 remnant BS commercial that we're running there.
Why do we play it?
Well, because it's we get $6 to play that commercial, some kind of network inventory crap.
Really?
Yeah, to fill avails. But the reason why I'm pointing it out is the heck with Discover. Remember, they turned me down.
Yeah, we don't like Discover card.
In college, Discover turned me down. You know who took me? You know who gave me my first credit card? American Express, baby. And you know who's doing that commercial? That was that Jennifer Coolidge. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
who
in
was
the new Minecraft movie.
She's in that too? 'Cause
Yes.
She was big in the first season of White Lotus, right?
And a second.
And now she's like hot property now, and she's like in all kinds of commercials, like that Discover commercial. And Discover turned me down, and I hold a grudge to this day. Discover rejected me. I can still see that rejection letter in my head where they turned me down.
What kind of grudge is this? I mean, do you even want the Discover card?
I don't want the Discover card. Seems like a janky card.
Yeah. I have to do a shout out.
For what?
Certified MJ Morning Show listener. Hello, Danny Goldstein. We love you. Drive safely to work on your little 7-minute commute. This is the window from 7 a.m. to 7:07 where I get to say good morning to Danny Goldstein.
Who's Danny Goldstein?
He knows who he is.
I think he works in the office where Chloe works. Does he work in the state attorney's office?
Is that how this is going now?
No, it is. It is.
We're going to shout out
is.
Chloe's friends?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, hey,
It's fun for them.
Danny, hey. Anyway, so, yeah, I had to come back, and after listening to that Discover commercial, I'm like, you know what? Heck with Discover. They wouldn't give MJ, me, little Todd Schnitt, they wouldn't give me a card when I was in college. But American Express stepped up, and they did. They gave me my first little green card. That's right. I had a green card. I was born in the U.S., but I still had a green card.
It's a different time.
It is the MJ Morning Show. This is Q105. 7:04. Hey, before I get into the hotel story, and this lady checks into a hotel and finds something under the sink. All right, hold on. I'll get to that in a second. First, though, Michelle has a follow-up to the beer cave defecator from Pennsylvania. If you missed the story, folks, this is just minutes ago. This was during Morons in the News in the last segment. A woman who is the nutrition advisor for a school system in Pennsylvania was caught on video defecating, pooping in the beer cave of a convenience store. She's pooping on the shelf in the beer cave, the walk-in beer cooler. Anyway, they track her down, and turns out that this is up in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and it turns out that she is an employee of the local school system, and she's the nutrition coordinator for the school system. That can't be good for your career. If you're pooping in the beer cave of a local convenience store.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of fiber in her diet.
I
mean, she is a nutritionist.
So Michelle, I guess, decided to do some additional independent research on this woman.
Well, you never know what's going to happen. But apparently, Crystal the Cave Crapper was a victim back in 2019. She was being stalked by her ex-boyfriend, who broke into her place while she was gone and stole all her sex toys.
Oh, my
and
God.
slashed her waterbed and flooded her bedroom.
Crystal Goss, 47 years old. This is nuts.
Is there a mugshot or a booking photo of her?
I haven't
can't
seen
find
it.
anything, but she leads an exciting life.
So
I mean,
she's the director of food and nutrition for the local school district in Hanover, and her sex toys were stolen and her waterbed was slashed by her ex.
yeah, flooded her bedroom.
She has a very exciting. You would think that a food and nutrition consultant or director, you'd think that'd be kind of a boring job,
Right.
Man, she's making up for it with other parts of her life.
I don't know that being a victim of a stalker is very exciting. And then pooping in coolers.
You know what's interesting? When you think about the folks you work with and what really goes on at their house, the stuff that happens, like your coworker, your boss, some of the people that are in your office or that, wherever you work.
Or in your studio.
Wherever.
Yeah.
The stuff that goes on in their private, personal lives.
Yeah.
No, I talk to Fester. I know what goes on in his personal life. We text each other. We know what's happening.
Mostly just yelling at kids.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm guessing.
Kid wrangling.
Just think about it. Think about who you work with. And you might work with some stodgy folks. They're all buttoned up. Yeah, it doesn't appear that, they have a very exciting existence, but you really don't know what kind of freaky, deaky crap is going on.
You used to come home from the other place and tell me all the time about the freaky stuff going on. But over here, not so much.
Listen, the old Power Pig days. The old J-Core radio days over on Gandy. Yeah, before it got all corporate buttoned up and all clear channeled and I-hearted up good. Yeah, that place was a zoo. It was. Anyway, thank you for the additional research on the cave crapper story, Michelle. I highly appreciate that. Listen to this. What would you do? What if this happened to you? I mean, would this creep you out? Would you say, hey, front desk, change me to another room? A woman calls the cops. She checks into a hotel room in Elgin, Illinois. And believe it or not, it's outside of Chicago. I've been to Elgin, Illinois.
Yeah.
I've been there. And this lady puts a video up on social media, and that's where I saw it. Again, the stuff that comes up with some scrolling of the reels, or a lot of people will DM me some interesting videos. A lot of it's crap, but there is some good stuff. So you got to go through the crap that people send to get to some good stuff. This one I found, though. So this woman discovered drawings under the sink. This woman says, I decided to look up, and she shows drawings under the sink. depicting abuse. The assailant is labeled Dad, and one message reads, "Help." It's in a freaking hotel room. What is going on?
What does she do?
We need to figure out who was in here with their dad. So, I mean, this is creepy. Help and Dad? What are these, like, cave hieroglyphics that were drawn underneath the... If you're in a hotel, you know, it depends on the vanity setup, but, you know, you can get, maybe in some cases, you can look underneath, and that's where these drawings were. So there's a second video, and this person shows a cop from the Elgin, Illinois Police Department shining a flashlight under the sink. He said, because I've been in this hotel room for 2 months, they're probably long gone. Well, duh.
So she's been in the hotel for 2 months?
She must be living in one of those...
Like extended stay hotels?
Yeah, like extended stays, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's creepy. So does that mean that there was a child? There was like a young girl that was in that extended stay hotel with her dad, and the kid was getting abused and would crawl underneath the bathroom vanity and then drew these pictures of abuse and help, and the abuser that's been drawn is labeled Dad. Oh my! I mean, this is what would you do? I'm like, get me the hell out of here.
I mean, she's been there for 2 months.
I'm guessing this is not going to be an issue if you're like at a high-end Hilton or Hyatt or.
Why, you don't think it could be an abuse at any hotel?
Yeah,
you don't know.
I realize
Talk about you don't know what happens at people's houses. You have no idea what happens in the hotel room next to you.
I'm guessing that this is more likely to happen at some janky place versus like the Ritz-Carlton or something, all right?
You can make yourself feel better, 1%er, all you want, but...
Oh, 1%er, huh?
Listen, you can make yourself feel better.
Oh, really?
I bet you shenanigans happen at every hotel room of all levels.
Oh, that's terrible. You ready for Pet Corner? Pet Corner here on the MJ Morning Show. Did you know that having a pet is as good for your well-being as being married? That's right.
Oh.
Having a pet is as good for your mental health, stability, psyche, well-being as being married, or, listen to this, making an extra $90,000 a year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Got some science here. Yeah, researchers have found the psychological benefits of having a pet is absolutely on par with having a human relationship.
Oh, all right. Sure. Who did this study?
Science.
Yeah, people with
Science.
No other human interaction.
Science.
Charlie Brown.
Science.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And did they really equate it to a specific dollar amount?
The study, led by Dr. Adelina Grishwander. Hey, it's spelled Gschwandtner. I think I nailed it.
I think you did as well.
I think I nailed the pronunciation here, folks. Yeah, she did the research, and that if you're chasing the American dream, she says, you might want to think about chasing a dog around the place or around the park, the house, whatever, because the joys of owning a pet are equivalent not only to being in a human relationship, but having an extra $90,000 a year at your disposal.
Hey, Fester, you just got a dog.
I don't know how the hell they narrow that crap down. How is it 90 grand? How's it not 75 or 80? Why is it not 110?
Does that picking up the poop make you feel 90 grand better?
Bending over 3 times a day to pick up poop in my yard really makes me feel great.
You know, you're such a curmudgeon. You know, you resisted getting a dog
I still
in
don't
your
like
house.
I don't like the situation at all.
Anyway.
Listen, I'll tell you what, I like the dog. The dog itself is a good dog. I hate being a dog owner.
You deprived your wife and kids of having a dog for years, and you finally gave in. What?
Yeah.
Has it been a year now?
Coming up next month is a year.
1 year next month that they got Hazel, right? What's the dog's name?
I don't even know.
What's the
It's
dog's
not Hazel.
What's the dog's name?
Something with an M.
Come on, what's
Mabel.
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 Oh, I'm that far off.
Hazel.
Yes.
Hazel and Mabel.
Listen,
Oh my God.
I don't
Somebody
even-
hit me with a cattle prod. I'm so far off.
I mean, we didn't even give it a cool name like Pickles or Chili or something. No, we had the name of Mabel. I like the dog. I don't like owning a dog because I do all the work and my kids are liars. Liars.
Yours and everybody else's kids are liars.
Little bastard liars.
Why are your little bastard kids? You called your kids bastards?
We had a whole talk.
Why are your kids liars?
We had a whole talk before the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, who's going to feed the dog? Oh, I'll feed the dog.
yeah.
Who's going to walk the dog?
Oh, please,
I'll walk the
please,
dog.
please,
I'll walk
Daddy,
the dog.
please, Daddy. Can we get a dog, Daddy? Please, please. I'll take care of the dog. Oh, I'll feed the dog. I'll walk the dog. I'll clean up after the dog. Oh, please, Daddy, can we get a dog? Can we get a dog? Please, 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 please.
And then
Yeah.
reminding Hadley we need to walk the dog is an act of Congress. You know, it's like, oh. I'm like, whoa, don't, me. You know,
Right.
we'll put the dog on the farm. We'll drop it off.
Yeah, so
Farmer Bills.
No.
that's the deal. Is
Ugh.
that I did it too when we were begging, when my brother and I were begging my parents for pets when we always we'll do this, we'll do that, and then when we were growing up, when we were 7, 8, 9 years old, mom and dad did the feeding and the walking and the taking care of 98% of the time, right?
I mean, I might be 8% in on this. This dog might live 13, 14 years. Oh, God.
All right, and speaking of dogs,
Yeah.
little segue here. More people are choosing to have pets over children. Birth rate is going down.
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole story on cousins. Cousins are getting rarer?
Yeah.
I mean, people are having fewer cousins. All right, I'll get into that in a second. Hang on. First, though, brand new study is showing a link between dog ownership and the declining of birth rates. And there's an absolute change. And many couples are choosing not to have kids. That's not good for humanity. That's not good for...
No?
we're going to run out of people if people are choosing having pets
Really?
Oh, I don't
instead
know.
of having kids.
Yeah, I don't know that we're in jeopardy of running out of people.
Yeah.
Just,
No, but we're starting to see the numbers that people are choosing to have pets instead of having a kid.
okay.
I think it'll come back. It's just a trend, right?
Hey, let me try to find my cousin's story. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a second.
No, Michelle, yeah, I have a friend who got married recently, and they're like, you know what? They fear the financial obligation of having. They
Oh.
overthink having kids so much
Right.
that they're not having kids, so instead they get a dog.
I had bosses in the past that they just decided they did not want to have kids, and that was it. And when I was young, I said, "Well, who's going to take care of you when you're older?" And they were like, "Michelle, you don't have kids to take care of you when you get old." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess not."
All right, I
But
found
people just decide they don't want to have kids.
young generations, so the generations that are younger right now and growing up, have less cousins because, again, this goes back to more people are choosing not to have kids. And when that happens, you have fewer cousins. I remember when I was growing up, I had cousins out the wang, out the yin,
Your father,
Yeah.
how many siblings?
3 others.
Okay.
So my Aunt Ellen, my Uncle Jack, yes, Jack Schnitt. I know Jack Schnitt. And, Edward was gay. He didn't have any kids. But, my dad is from a family of 4 kids. And then my mom is of a family of 3 girls. So my mom, and she had 2 sisters. And I had cousins out the waz. But, again, these days, my kids, how many cousins? Do Chloe and Julian have any cousins?
0.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah.
Do
only
you,
have
do your,
two-
do your
You
kids?
want to know why? Because my brother hasn't had kids.
Right.
And
What is that why?
and
Because
the-
your brother and my sister. Let's get this straight.
and-
that's how cousins work.
that's
Yeah,
and
but that's why.
Michelle's sister has no kids.
Right.
So my kids have no cousins. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 8 first cousins, and my kids have Zero! Nothing! Bumpkins!
But Fester, you have siblings, and Allison has siblings. So do your
Yeah.
kids have cousins?
A couple of cousins, but none of them live close.
Aw.
A couple of cousins live in Kentucky. A couple live in Massachusetts.
All right, folks, the Cash Kitty's coming up at 8 o'clock. So
Good.
we are 41 minutes away from the Cash Kitty and your chance to win $1,000. That's only the first time today. It'll happen at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 p.m., 5 p.m. The Cash Kitty is on the way in 40 minutes. Stand by. You could win $1,000. Next, we start an hour, 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Do you want to be a totally insincere P. Rick when it comes to texting? I'm going to tell you right now, there is something that people text, and it is insincere. So you might think that it's sincere, but it's not. So what is the text message? What is the text response that people use all the time, and apparently it is perceived as being disingenuous and not gracious and totally insincere beyond words? Hang on. I'll tell you what that is, plus a crap load more, because we have an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. So don't move. If you're... Minutes of nonstop MJ. No commercials, no music, just nonstop entertainment value begins right now. All right, if you want to come across as disingenuous when you text, Andrew, I guess he saw the story or maybe he was just guessing, but when I teased this, when I mentioned this going into the break, I said, hey, people that text this, you're perceived as being disingenuous, that it's kind of a throwaway. And if you want to send a message to somebody that you really don't give a bleep, you really don't care, you're just going through the motions, blah, blah, blah. Michelle Fester, do you have any guesses at all, what a text response is that kind of sends the message, you know, I'm just getting this off my plate. I'm just responding. There's really no thought or meaning or, you know, any graciousness behind my response. Do you have any idea what this very common text response is that you should avoid? Yes, Michelle's raising her hand like she's in third grade. Yes, Michelle.
Is it the thumbs up?
No, it's not.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
But you know what? I'm not an emoji user. So you don't get many emojis out of me. I don't...
You hate the emojis.
I'm not a real emoji fan.
Some guys are like really dyed-in-the-wool emoji people.
I don't use the thumbs up. So, Michelle, no, it is not the thumbs up. Fester,
you know who's a big emoji person?
Who's a big emoji person?
Dennis Phillips. I'll send him something or something funny.
Oh,
you know,
he does the spinning. He does the spinning, crying, smiley face that's crying.
Like 5 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Den, I get it. Moderately funny.
I wonder if, hang on.
I mean, you want to talk about a guy, a grown-ass man who we all respect, who is emoji overuser. It's that guy.
He's highly intelligent, and he knows how to express himself.
He's brilliant, and he knows how to express himself with animated characters on his phone keypad.
I just texted Dennis Phillips from ABC Action News, Mr. Suspenders, chief meteorologist. I just texted him, you awake? Because there are a few days a week where he does take his daughter to school, and he is up early. Keep in mind that Dennis does the 11 o'clock news, does the weather on Channel 28, and then, you know, because of his schedule, Dennis stays up late. You know, he's like binge watching Netflix sometimes till 4 a.m. But then, right. So some days he does take his daughter to school, and he is available to talk at like 7:30, which is, boom, right now it's 7:30.
He might reply back with an emoji, but boy, when you mention somebody who over emojizes,
I just got a guy lying in bed with z coming out of his face. Z. No, I'm kidding. I did. Is it one of those emojis?
I think so, yeah. Like snoozing or you're boring me.
I didn't do the reveal yet.
All right, so is it STFU?
No, it's not.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, that would send a definite message.
All
right.
So I always thought the most dismissive text, seriously, was just the single letter K. When somebody writes back K,
Yeah.
it's not even an okay.
You know, I don't do that either. That's
it's a
another thing.
K.
So I do respond okay a lot, but I spell okay, and sometimes I'll even do OKAY.
Oh, using the Queen's
Ooh,
English.
fancy schmancy, like Oxford Dictionary crap. All right?
But yeah, if you give me back the K letter, then I'm like, screw you.
You ready for what it is?
Mm.
THX. And I'm not talking about the audio theater protocol. No. It's for thanks. This is perceived if you want to thank somebody and you send THX, the perception is that you're just blowing them off. You're just going through the motions. There's no meaning. There's no emotion. There's no grace. So do not use, when you're thanking somebody, when you're responding to somebody via text, do not use the THX.
Wow.
Say thanks, THANKS, or thank you, pal. But THX, yeah, researchers have found that a lot of these shortcuts, which some people consider efficient, quick, that it actually sends a bad message and can actually be a relationship weakener.
I never say that.
Yeah.
THX.
Yeah.
I don't do that shorthand a lot anyway.
Yep. In a survey of American texters aged 18 to 65, 90.1% said that they used abbreviations regularly in their daily texts. 84.2% believe that the abbreviations either made a positive impact on how the recipient perceived the message or that it had no meaningful impact at all. However, findings suggest that simply including a text abbreviation can make a recipient feel as though you're blowing them off. So something as simple as a response, and you think you're responding, it's what you respond with has an additional meaning or message that you might have not even thought of.
Huh.
So how about that?
Hey, THX for telling us that, MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, THX.
So watch it on the THX crap. Yeah. You know, there was one other thing I was going to bring up, and it just slipped my mind, just regarding texting. I know what I was going to say. So we're at a time where interpersonal. So we're at a time where interpersonal communications, verbal communications, people actually talking on the phone has been replaced by texting. I don't know what the percentage is, but it's massive. The number of times that people would have a real conversation, talking, communicating, verbal interaction, how much of that has completely gone away because people are just texting? And then you add on top of the, listen, I'm concerned, for instance, our kids don't talk on the phone like we used to talk on the phone when we were kids or we were teenagers, young adults, or even today. We talk on the phone much more. You know, those in their 40s, 50s, I would say even, a good chunk in the 30s, talk on the phone, but the younger generations are texting. But then you add to it this disingenuousness of just some of the emojis and the abbreviations, and it even degrades the communication even more, is what I'm saying.
Chloe has no problem with the phone.
Well, they like a lot of the kids, they like FaceTime and, WhatsApp and, using the video links.
But she's really learned how to use the phone at work. And she loves it. She answers the phone. She picks it up. She calls out to people. She loves it. She thinks it's almost like it's a novelty to her that she gets to use like a real phone at work,
right?
Where she puts something in her hand and holds it up to her face
on the desk, and you actually have a dial tone,
yeah,
like like a. Like a lot of kids these days, what's that noise?
Okay,
What? Yeah, because a lot of kids are growing up in houses where they don't have a home phone. There's no there's no like landline connected to the wall anymore. You know, where you had a dial tone.
Fester, do you have a landline?
No. I took Hudson somewhere, and he saw his first landline phone sitting on the desk.
Oh
and he's
my
like,
gosh!
What's that?
Oh my! See, that's what I'm talking
And I'm
about.
like, you want to call mommy? And we called mom on the phone on the desk.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is so cool. He held it up to his hand. He pressed all the buttons. I go, you got to press specific ones. You just can't hit them all. But he made his first phone call recently on a landline phone. He never saw it.
Did you have to teach him how to do it?
I showed him how to. I had to do it for him. I showed him how to do it.
So go back to Chloe for a second. See, Fester, your story, case in point, is perfect. Your kid is what, 9, 8? How old? He's 8 years old.
Something.
What is that? And he's pointing to a regular phone.
Right.
Holy! Never saw it on TV or in the movies, or didn't register.
Here's a picture. Here's a picture of
Oh
Hudson.
my gosh!
Back in July.
Wow.
On July 22nd, he came with me to General RV where I have a desk phone.
Right.
And he's like, "What's that, Dad?" And I'm like, "This is a phone." He goes, "That's not a phone." I'm like, "It is a phone."
It's got the coiled cord attached. You know, it's a regular phone receiver with the coiled cord.
You know, you can buy that for your cell phone.
What?
As an accessory, you can buy the coil cord and the handpiece to attach to your phone.
We talked about that a long time ago.
That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
no, but back to Chloe for a second. But you know, Chloe's 23. Chloe is a felony assistant at the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office under Susie Lopez, and Chloe has a real desk with a real phone, which is something. Now we did when they were growing up. We used to have phones in the house.
Right.
Now, we used to have a variety of a nice desk set. Like in the kitchen, we had one. We had one in my office. We had one up in the master bedroom. Now we only have one wired phone in the whole house.
Right.
You know, now Andrew wanted to know if we had cordless. No, we never had cordless phones.
You never liked the cordless phones.
Yeah, I never really liked those. But these days we do have a landline. We have a landline because it's part of my FiOS Frontier package with my gig internet, and I get a landline as well. And we have just a single phone, which it's not even on the dresser anymore. I keep the phone underneath the bed, and when I would call Michelle on the phone before Michelle started coming in because of the job opening that we have, and Michelle's kind of taking up the slack and doing a wonderful job.
Wonderful.
I ought to play the song again here.
No.
You know what? In fact, I will.
No.
I'm going to play the song again in just a second. Yes, I will.
Play it over the phone.
People love it. No, but I still maintain the landline at the house because, number one, if you have an emergency, the landline absolutely gives 911 your exact address. With cell phones, some do, some don't. They've gotten better on location, but a lot of times they get a 911 hang up on a cell phone at a 911 center. They don't know where it came from.
Right.
And they dispatch a unit to the cell tower area. I mean, that's protocol. And you're maybe a mile away from where the 911 came from. So that's why I like the wired landline phone. But it was also calling Michelle, it's a better quality. A good wired landline is just a better sounding phone than most cell phone calls. So,
hey, THX for all that, too.
Yeah, THX, MJ.
But man, it's so cute though that Chloe just loves having a phone on her desk, a real old-fashioned. Should Michelle stay or go on the MJ Morning Show? People love you, Michelle. I'm telling you, it is 99% that love you on the show live in the studio versus like 1% of naysayers.
I don't want to lose that 1% of listeners for you. I don't want to be responsible for that.
By the way, I just got a text from Kenny Newman.
Oh, yeah?
Hello, Newman. So Kenny Newman is the owner of one of our great advertisers, Plan B Air Conditioning. And Kenny just sent me a text on the whole phone deal. They actually have classes now on how to talk on the phone. I kid you not. It teaches people how to deal with the anxiety of talking to another person.
Yeah, oh, my gosh. That is crazy.
Hold on. Who's? Hey, Kenny, text me. Who's offering a course? I'm sure we can. Hey, Festa, do a Google search. Just quickly.
Yep.
Google lessons on how to talk on the phone. I got to find this.
I bet you there's a YouTube channel dedicated to it.
Yeah.
Talk
How to have a
on
phone
the
conversation.
phone.
And again, a lot of, Generation Alpha, Generation Z, they don't talk on the phone like we used to talk on the phone. There's just so much of the texting going on. What'd you find?
I found learning English is a new language.
Well, that's not what I'm
and
looking
how
for.
to answer the phone.
Kenny, if you have something on courses on how to talk on the phone, would you?
Yeah, maybe you should sign up for it, Kenny, instead of texting us.
Maybe he offers it in his business.
Hey, you should have called us up at 800-990-1047. But, of course, if you have any air conditioning problems, call 813-PLAN-BAC for Plan B air conditioning. 7:43 at the MJ Morning Show. I like this. I laughed out loud. But, listen, the server made a mistake. But guess what the server put on somebody's bill at a restaurant? A $5 bitching fee.
That should be a thing.
Oh.
You know what? I'm not a restaurant bitcher and complainer because like I never send food back.
Right.
What if something is not good? Why wouldn't you send it back? If there's a mistake, why wouldn't you send it back?
You know what? I'll never send it back, but I'll have them if they forgot something, I'll have them bring it out.
Well, there's always the old story that if you send it back, it's totally getting spat on
or butted.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's getting cracked.
Yeah, I mean, what was that movie?
It's getting credit carded.
What was the movie with the French toast? The guy returned the French toast, and the chef
and it got slotted.
Cleaned himself with the
Oh,
French toast.
gross!
And yeah, I don't send anything back. I mean, if they forget something, maybe they'll bring it out, like they forgot a side or something. But yeah, I don't insult the chef that way.
All right, listen to this.
Bitching fee sounds legitimate.
Let me tell you about the bitching fee. Happened in Indiana. This was on Reddit. So Reddit's great. This is on a Reddit subgroup.
Where in Indiana? South Bend? A bunch of bitching Notre Damers?
No, it doesn't say. It just says Indiana. And this is at a pizza establishment. And the person shares the story that they go to a pizza restaurant and they order some pizzas and some beers with friends. The individual says, I ordered a Miller Lite and the server gave me a Bud Light. But since she had already opened the Bud Light while walking toward the table, she couldn't swap it out because she had already opened the Bud Light when he wanted a Miller Lite. So he says that the server, the waitress, had to eat the Bud Light, giving it to me for free, and then got me a Miller Lite on top of it. What are you saying, Andrew? Hold on. What do you? I don't know what you're saying.
Andrew, you got to talk on the
You
radio.
said
Talk on the radio.
eat the beer.
Turn your microphone on. What did I say?
You said had to eat the beer.
No, that that's what I meant.
Eat it means
she,
like a,
she had to eat it as far as she had to be responsible for the charge.
Yeah, like
That-
not
not
the money.
I wasn't talking literally drink or eat. That she would have to eat the fee.
Drank the beer, eat the loss.
A lot of restaurants, if diners dine and dash, or if the server makes a mistake, a lot of times the server gets charged back.
And they have to eat the fee.
Eat the fee. That's what I meant by eating. All right. So that's what the guy is saying. And he says there was really no bitching. Just pointed out, hey, I ordered a Bud Light and I ordered a Miller Lite and you brought me a Bud Light. And he says he really wasn't bitching. But then when it was time to pay the bill, there's a line item. You got 3 Miller Lights on here. You got an 8-inch cheese pizza, $6.99. Pepperoni's another $1. Water comes up at $0, and then there's a bitching fee on the bottom of the bill. There's an actual printed line item, bitching fee $5. The waitress, the server put on a bitching fee, but also clearly it was to cover her mistake of bringing out the Bud Light instead of the Miller Lite he originally ordered.
I'm just not sure how she was able to do that. Like type that in, bitching fee. They must have it already in there. And then what is her supervisor going to say, or the house manager? Are they going to be okay with that?
I would hope they would not be fine with, saying that one of your customers is bitching and then put a fee on there.
I don't know.
Yeah, hang a sign at the door. If you're going to be a tough customer.
This guy was really rude to me.
If you're going to bitch, don't come in.
I'm putting on a douchebag fee.
I mean, here's the thing, man.
Can you imagine if you had a receipt and it said douchebag fee?
If you're drinking Miller Lite,
Yeah.
and they give you a Bud Light,
Yeah.
can you really tell the difference?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's not.
I feel like
beers are a wide variety.
Hold on,
Yeah.
see, wine, I can tell the difference. I mean, I've got listen, I don't have a master som pin. I'm not even close to being, among the top soms in the world.
No.
But listen, I can tell the difference between even the same varietal or the same region. Every wine, it's like a freaking fingerprint, man. I'm telling you. For me, and same thing with whiskeys and bourbons, man. Oh, and we got to talk about Michelle's shirt here in a second because the first time I saw this, and apparently she just got it. But yeah, for me, whiskeys and wines, every single one has a different fingerprint. But you're saying that you don't think that somebody could tell the difference between a Bud Light and a Miller Light if they were blindfolded?
If you're out there with your buddies, it's not like we're having beer tastings or we're at a beer expo and we're analyzing it for flavor. If we're just choking down pizzas, right? I'm not there. I mean, listen, Bud Light, great, beer manufacturer. Miller Lite, great, amazing American company. However, can you really tell the difference while you're choking down? You ordered one bottle.
What about a Bud Light, a Miller Light, and a Natty Light?
I mean,
they're kind of all in the same.
If I'm choking down pizza, can I really tell the difference?
Don't people make fun of Natty Light?
It's a little bit lower end,
right?
Yeah,
but look, it's not like you ordered a Heineken and they brought you, a Natty Light.
Yeah.
Then you might kind of know the difference, right?
I'm just thinking, if this guy's kind of being a little bit of a bitcher and complainer.
Anyway,
it's not a Corona.
The bitching fee on the bill. All right, Michelle, I want to get into your liquor-related sweatshirt, which I saw for the first time today. I'll get into in a second. Hold on. First of all, I don't want to get too late on this because I did promo it at 7:45. So yesterday I recorded, and if you were listening to Q105 during the course of the day yesterday, you heard this. There's a deadline coming up shortly. If you're not compliant, you could get hosed. What is it? 7:45. All right, it's 7:49, so I'm a few minutes late. So you know what happens? The deadline is... Festa, did you guess what it was?
No, I didn't care. I think Andrew guessed.
Oh, Andrew guessed what, because I didn't tell when I was recording this yesterday, right after the show, to promote this segment right now. By the way, it is 7:50. We're 10 minutes away from the Cash Kitty. So Cash Kitty and your shot at $1,000 is 10 minutes away. So I recorded this yesterday, and Andrew guessed right away. And Andrew's like that, our producer, because I'll come up with an item that I'm going to tease for the next day, and he what is it? And sometimes I'll say to him, you know what? Why don't you tune in tomorrow at 7:45?
That's the same thing I tell him every time. Right. He's like, you said deadline. He's like, what is it? What's the deadline? I'm like, who cares? We'll get to it tomorrow.
Well,
Big deal.
Here's the deadline.
I left.
The deadline is coming up, and it is weeks away. It's the Real ID. Folks, here's what I want you to do.
Dude.
Check your driver license. And in Florida, I do say driver license. Some states call it a driver's license. But if you look at your Florida license, it actually says driver license and not driver's license. But seriously, on May 7th, and this has been delayed for years. It's been
I've
put
been
off.
hearing about this for like 15 years.
Well, it hasn't been that long. It's been like...
Because after 9/11, they made this a thing.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So Real ID is a verified ID through certain methods on your driver's license or driver license, and you have to have a star. Just out of curiosity, how many people listening don't have the star? How many people don't have a Real ID compliant license? Now, why is this important? Why could you get hosed? Because starting May 7th, if you fly in the United States, you might not be able to get through TSA. So, if you do not have... So, folks, I'm telling you right now, check your driver license right now. If you have a driver license and you don't have the gold star on the upper right-hand corner, I want to hear from you. I want to know if you have a non-compliant license. Call me right now. Anybody.
How's that possible?
Let's see. 800-990-1047. Is anyone listening right now and you don't have a real ID. Look at your license. If you don't have the gold star on the upper right-hand corner on May 7th, you might get to the airport and they turn you away and you can't get on your flight and you miss it because you don't have real ID.
So the Congress, United States Congress, passed the Real ID Act in 2005.
Yeah, that's
so 20 years.
20 years ago.
You've had time.
Yeah. The full implementation of the act, including the enforcement of Real ID compliant identification for various purposes. It has been a multi-year process with several extensions. The final deadline is coming up on May 7th, 2025. In weeks, May 7th is when Real ID is absolutely in effect. And airport security, this is like 20 years in the making. And it's finally coming into effect on May 7th after like tons of delays.
So,
COVID delayed. Remember, COVID was supposed to go into effect around COVID time, and they delayed it because of COVID.
all right, I can't speak to this firsthand, but I've heard that the Real ID process is a total pain in it's a hassle, but it's a complete pain in the ass for women who've been married multiple times and divorced and changed their name. Because I believe with the Real ID thing, you have to show the flow chart of your name through your whole life up until what name you have now.
Let's go to phones on this. We do have phones on hold, so I want to hear from people. I want you to call me. If you do not have the gold star on the upper right-hand corner of your driver license, call us. Or if you had to go through, tell us the hoops you had to go through to get the I'm trying to remember when I first got mine. I think was like a renewal like 10 years ago, maybe or more.
Yeah, but you show a birth certificate, right?
Yeah.
But
so I can't, whatever it was, you had to go through all the hoops.
Yeah.
All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Do you have the gold star missing on your license, or did you have to go through the process, and what was it, a pain in the ass to prove who you are, whatever hoops? I can't remember what we did to do, but I do have the gold star. Michelle, you have a gold. We all have gold stars, right?
Yes.
Kids, we've checked them all.
Yes.
All right, 800-990-1047. Call us right now. Let me grab Marge. Marge in Newport Richey. Marge, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, that came to my attention about 2 weeks ago. My daughter-in-law who lives in New York told me, and I looked at my license, and luckily I do have the gold star in the corner.
Yep.
But I also found out that if you want a flag instead of the star, it's more expensive. I think the star is enhanced license, and that is $80 when you go to change your license. But if you get the flag, it's more. I'm not sure how much, but that automatically tells the person checking it that you are a natural-born United States of America citizen.
So you can get a flag? I didn't even know about the flag.
At the bottom of this article that I'm reading, it says it.
Hold on, Michelle. What does it? Read it.
It says that enhanced driver's license and IDs are also alternatives to the Real ID compliance. And you can get the American flag at the top of the card along with the word enhanced. Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Vermont, and Washington currently issue them.
Oh, so New York. So we can't get the flag in Florida, but your daughter's in New York, so she can get the flag.
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, okay, I didn't know that. Okay, so now we both just told each other information that was very useful.
Look at that. Look at that. Marge, thank you. And hey, hey, Marge, listen, I don't want to really be too personal here, but how much do you weigh?
About 125 pounds.
Oh, so yeah. See, that's what I'm glad that I'm glad she's 125, because I was going to say, tell them Large Marge sent you.
Hey, listen, I got introduced to a game years ago. I used to do like a clothing line in people's houses. It was kind of like a spin-off on Tupperware.
Yeah.
And you'd form a circle with all the new people that didn't know each other, and you would introduce yourself, and you would have to find a rhyme for your name, and then you'd go around the circle again twice, and everybody would kind of remember what you said. It was a fun game, and it would always start my sales off with a bang. But my name was Marge. The only thing I could think of was barge, and I used to say, say, I'm Marge and I live on a barge.
Marge on the barge. I was saying, from the Pee Wee movie, from Tell 'em Large Marge sent you. All right, Marge, thank you. Johnny, also up that way. What are you laughing at?
I love Marge.
Yeah, Johnny up that way. He's in Port Richey. Hello, Johnny.
Hi, it's a she.
It's a she, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny.
Yes.
When did you make the transformation?
Boy. Yeah, so I was just informed because I got a letter from the tax collector office saying if I need to be compliant by May 7th. But I didn't do it because the last time I did my renewal, I guess, or whatever, of the driver's license, I did it by mail. Because every time I go in there and you do that eye test, I go blind for some reason. I get all nervous, and next thing you know, I can't see.
Wait a sec. You look into the eye chart and you go blind?
Yeah, I go blind because I'm nervous. I don't know. All of a sudden, I go blind.
I've never heard of a psychosomatic blindness blackout.
Right? That's crazy,
Yeah,
John.
so I'm like, no. And then finally, by the skin of my teeth, I passed it. So this last time, I said, forget that. I renewed
It sounds like I don't want to be on the road next to you at 80 miles an hour on the Veterans.
Listen, I could see the drive, but the pressure of them wanting you to read it, I can't see. I go blind. I don't know why.
So, Johnny, if you look at your license right now, Johnny, if you look at your license, do you have the gold star on the upper right-hand corner?
No.
Well, then you're host. Are you planning to fly anytime soon?
No, thank goodness. But I'm sure it'll hold up some other things. But
well, hold on. What if you need to get on a plane after May 7th? You're not going to get through TSA without the gold star.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I probably won't. I'm probably on other list too or something. You never know.
You'll have to take a tour bus like John Madden. Remember, he wouldn't fly.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, all right.
You're going to have to road it.
All right, thanks, Johnny. Listen, go get your gold star on your license.
I mean, couldn't you use a passport, MJ?
You can use a passport as well.
There's other forms of acceptable ID.
I would imagine. Holly in St. Pete. Holly, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, how are you?
Going pretty well over here, Holly. Do you have a gold star?
I do, and it was actually really easy. When I moved here to Florida, we went to get our license, and she said, do you want the federal ID? And I said, yes. And they said, okay. So I didn't have to show any kind of birth certificate or anything.
All right, so you got the gold star. I'm trying to remember when I got what I had to do. I didn't seem like it was that difficult. Holly, where'd you move from?
Ohio.
And did you have a gold star on your old Ohio license?
I did not.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you, Holly. Appreciate it. How long you been down here?
3 years.
Well, thank you for finding the MJ Morning Show. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Listen every morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Sandy and Largo. Sandy, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, good morning.
Sandy, can you hold on 1 second? Let me do the cash kitty quickly. Sandy, can you hang on for 1 second?
Absolutely.
All right, it's 8 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show. This hour's word is purse. That's P-U-R-S-E. So text the word purse nationwide 45911. So text the word purse right now 45911. Text the word purse before 8:25 this morning for a shot at $1,000, or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myq105.com. Simple as that. The cash kitty on right now. You got another chance at $1,000 at 10 a.m., then 12 noon, 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. Let me use purse in a sentence. Little Billy is a delinquent little son of a... He went purse snatching in the Walmart parking lot at 275 in Dale Mabry. Little Johnny is a purse snatcher, and he's been caught, and he's going to rot in juvie.
That's a hell of a sentence.
Purse. The word is purse. I've decided I'm going to use the word in a sentence every day.
Let me tell a whole short story about the word.
All right, back over to
Robin.
No, Sandy.
Sandy.
Hello, Sandy. Sandy, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, my story is a little bit longer. I had a hard time getting my real ID because I was born in Connecticut, and then I was adopted, family moved down to Florida when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
Got married, got a divorce, got remarried. When I got remarried, I took my adopted name as my middle name. So.
Oh wow! So your track record, your history is all muddled.
It was muddled. So I had to have my adoption decree, the divorce paperwork, and then the remarriage, and then showing the middle name where my new.
Yeah, it's a real hassle.
So how'd you sort it out? How'd you finally get it done?
Just had to have every piece of paperwork, and being adopted out of state, I didn't have my adoption paperwork, so I had to go to Connecticut, get my adoption paper or my real birth certificate, get the adoption paperwork for my parents, get the divorce. I didn't have my divorce paperwork.
Did you have to track down your real birth mother?
Well, luckily it was just a stepfather adoption, so my stepfather adopted me when I was 12.
I got you. All right, Sandy, I'm happy to hear it has a happy ending.
Yeah, but it's only a terrible pain in the ass for women.
Yeah.
It is.
Because they're the ones that traditionally change names.
And again, folks, if you're just tuning in, finally the Real ID goes into effect on May 7th. If you want to fly, if you want to get to the airport and get through TSA and be able to get on your airplane beginning May 7th, in just weeks, you have to have the gold star on the upper. Check your license. Do you have the gold star on the upper right-hand corner of your driver license? You got to have it if you want to fly beginning May 7th. Sandy, thanks for the call. Robin is next. Hello, Rockin' Robin. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hello. Mine was a nightmare. It was kind of like Esther was saying, but I don't know how many people have their original birth certificate. So when I went in and waited hour, 2 hours, I get up there and they're like, we can't accept this anymore. You have to go get a new birth certificate. I'm like,
oh,
okay.
wow.
I mean, it can't be a copy, like a photocopy. It has to be a certified copy from the state.
It was certified. It was the original white piece of paper back then. My mother had saved it, so I was like, hey, this couldn't be any more legit. No. They made me go back again, and like you said, I got divorced. Oh, we need where your name was changed, because I went back to my maiden name.
Oh, man.
So I go back. I ended up going back to make it a little bit shorter 6 times. When I went in the 6th time, I had all my taxes, my name changes, my divorce decree.
Oh, God.
I had everything, and the lady looked at me, and I said, yep, it's me again, and I will get that star this time.
Wouldn't you just wear them out, and they finally said, okay, here's your gold star. Get out of here. We don't want to see you again.
It was like the 6th time when I came in with that 3-inch folder, said, here you go. Look through it, find everything you need. They weren't happy with me.
Oh, wow. Robin, thank you for the story. I appreciate it. All right, so before I'm going to grab, Andrew, no more calls. I'll do Wes, Marilyn, Odie, and Margaret. So 4 quickies here. But I also want to share with you that beginning on May 7th, all travelers over 18, you got to have Real ID unless you have another TSA-approved form of ID like a U.S. passport, state-issued enhanced driver's license, DHS trusted traveler cards like Global Entry, Nexus, Century, Fast, U.S. Department of Defense ID, permanent resident card, border crossing card, acceptable photo ID issued by a federally recognized tribal nation or Indian tribe. Does like your Seminole Hard Rock Casino players card get you through now? I don't know. All right. All right. The HSPD 12 PIV sounds like a sexually transmitted disease card is what it sounds
PIV.
like.
Here's my card.
A foreign government issued passport. Anyway, there are some exceptions, but the easiest thing if you're a U.S. citizen, you just get the driver license that has the gold star. All right, let me just do quickies here. Wes in Tampa, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Wes.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
Doing fine. What's the story? I
am lacking the gold star.
Oh, wow. And when does your license expire? How much more time do you have on it?
Well, I've got it till 26, but I've got an appointment on May the 5th to go ahead and get it taken care of.
All right. Do you have everything you need to go get your gold star and your driver's license?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm good to go.
All right. When are you flying next?
August. I've got to go up to a wedding in Boston. So
yeah, you got plenty of time then.
What do they require you to bring, Wes? What do you have to bring with you?
I believe they just said just a birth certificate, if I can just obtain that, it should be good to go. So I've already got everything in order. Just got to get in there and,
I'll tell you what, Wes, I'm happy that the freaking wedding's not this weekend because you'd be hosed. Yeah.
No. Well,
I'm sorry. The weekend right after May 7th. I'm sorry. All right, Wes.
You're a little ahead of.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm a little ahead of. Thank you, Wes. All right, Marilyn, quickly, and he knew. You know what I meant. All right, Marilyn and West Chase, go ahead.
Good morning, Fester. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Jay.
Thank you.
Okay, I had to go 9 months without a driver's license because I was born in Jersey and adopted about 4 years later.
Oh, I thought you crashed into a bus stop while you were loaded.
The adoption was sealed.
Yeah.
And I do not have an originating birth certificate. We applied. Wow. So my name was Franz at birth. I was adopted, and my name was changed to my adopted family in Broward County, Florida. So we applied to the Broward County courthouse to have my adoption record.
All right. So listen, bottom line, is it fixed? Do you have a gold star now?
Yeah, I had to get a waiver from Tallahassee showing that I exhausted all avenues to try to obtain the birth certificate, the original or the adopted one. So it took me 9 months. So anytime I renew my license, I have to bring the waiver from the state, from Tallahassee, giving me a waiver.
All right, listen, we'll put you on contract waivers for tonight. Thanks for at Bob's Country Bunker. Thank you, Marilyn. Have a great one, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, Blues Brothers reference. Every show I try to get one in. Margaret in Riverview. 2 more calls, then we got to move on. Margaret, Riverview, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, good morning. I have a gold star, and when I renewed my license a few years ago, it was easy, not a problem, quick and simple. However, my husband doesn't have a gold star, and he has to get his renewal done before June. So they sent him a letter saying that he has to be there to renew. I think it was either May 7th or May 15th. And then he has to bring his birth certificate, Social Security card, and another form of ID.
All right, well.
And go through the whole thing again.
There you go. How many people listening check their license so they don't have the gold star? And after May 7th, you got to have it. Thank you, Margaret. All right, last call, Odie in Lutz on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Odie.
Hi, good morning. How are you guys?
Doing well. Go ahead.
Good. So I'm a Cuban American, been married for 40 years, went to get my gold star, which I got it, but they told me, I said, sit aside for a minute. I was detained for like 15 minutes because they showed that I was not married. I had to wait. They called Miami for the entrance, but they finally got it. So I'm okay, and I'm still married. Thank you, MJ.
Thank you, Odie. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, listen, we just did a public service because you know how many people might not have known this?
Right.
And they'll get on a plane after May 7th to get to the airport. They don't have the gold star.
Okay, so let me just clarify this.
Or try to get on a plane, yeah.
I know we're talking to mostly Floridians here.
Yep.
Florida is a gold star, but other states have other symbols.
Yeah,
Not every state is a gold star.
Yeah, like Nebraska has a cob of corn.
No, they don't. Well, we talked about the American flag.
No. That's an enhanced one that only 5 states offer.
Okay, all right.
Some of the states are black stars or black cutout stars, and California is a bear, and Maine is the shape of the state.
It's a lobster in Maine.
Arkansas is
big
a
lobster
meth pipe.
claw.
So, if you're like...
What state's a meth?
Meth pipe in Arkansas.
No, that's more like Kentucky, I think.
Listen, several states.
Yeah.
It could be several.
Yeah.
So not everybody...
Oh, yeah, you know what? A lot of meth labs in the Ozarks.
Yeah. Listen, they made a whole show about it, didn't they?
Yeah. Ozark, great show. Yeah.
So, for those listening and are looking at their license, maybe they're visitors or, snowbirds, right? Like Nevada is the shape of the state with a star in it.
Utah, it's multiple wives.
Got a bunch of wives lined up on the upper right-hand corner.
The outline of them.
So, like on the back of SUVs where they have all the little stickers of the family.
Right.
Oh, you love that.
The mother, the father, all the kids, the dog.
Mm-hmm.
I like the folks that have the guns lined up on the back window of the car. All right, moving along. By the way, mark this down, folks. Another public service message from the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, you keep track.
Yeah, here on Q105, 104.7 FM. We have an update. Remember the principal and the teacher that were throwing that liquor-fueled party for like underage kids over on the East Coast in Cocoa. Remember that story?
Yeah.
Oh, we got an update on that, man. A Brevard County teacher has been placed on administrative leave for a second time after the body camera footage was released. So the teacher that was involved in the huge underage drinking party scandal, where, can you imagine this? You've got a school principal and a teacher throwing a party for a couple of hundred kids, all underage, boozing it up. So the teacher gets suspended, but then rehired, and now has been suspended again because the body footage just came out. The body cam footage just came out from the cops. And I've got the audio, and it is spectacular. It is great.
You know, that's the thing. I mean, you do your investigation without the body cam footage. You think you have all the information, and then something new pops up. Oh, we didn't know about this. And you're back to square one. How many clips do you have?
I'm looking at my clips. I have 2 clips. All right, so let me give you a little bit more detail, and then we'll get into the audio here. In a one-on-one interview Tuesday, Channel 2 West TV over in Orlando spoke with the Brevard County School Board Vice Chair Matt Sussin about the district's decision. It's the most deplorable behavior that you can ask from any of our staff.
All right, not the most deplorable.
Absolutely
okay?
not what we expect at the Brevard Public Schools. The video in question is from the police officer's body cam after responding to a Cocoa Beach home, a party back in January. He responded twice that night. The second time was to help a 17-year-old who was shaking and vomiting on the front lawn of the house. In fact, from the body camera, we actually have the audio of the 17-year-old yakking. Here it is. That's right for the police body cam. And then the cop said,
"Holy God!"
All right, so this is nuts. And so they took the teacher back. And then they've now put the teacher back on leave after the... Come on, really? The teacher should have never been put back.
Listen, you can see past things. I mean, people get reprimanded and they get past things.
Yeah, she was hired according to the statute and then whatever they have to look at. But then this body cam footage came out right after she was assigned.
All right, so the school official says not only the fact that she openly admitted to being inside the party on video, but she also impeded the help of one of our 17-year-old children. That's deplorable. Carly Anderson was arrested and initially charged with child neglect. The state attorney's office dropped the felony charge on April 1st and instead charged her with disorderly conduct and disorderly intoxication. Do you know that when she was hired back, weren't there protests? Didn't parents
No, I think they're protesting now.
So
because that's what it came out. This further evidence was released.
Got it.
Kind of coinciding with her first day back at work or whatever.
Parents, once the body camera footage came out, then parents just recently, in the last couple of weeks, they started protesting at the school.
Yeah.
They're holding up signs at the school. Get drunk teacher out. All kinds of stuff. All right, here's the audio. This is real now. This is the audio from the body camera footage from the police over in Brevard County.
Well, I'm a teacher. Who the you got put in that car?
Well, it's a kid, but...
Listen,
wow!
She's totally lit. I'm not drunk.
That's the drunkest person.
All right, hang on. Let me play the whole thing. It's just getting started.
Well, I'm a teacher. Who the you got put in that car?
Well, it's a kid, but they can't disclose.
I was here hanging out at this party. I mean, what's wrong with them?
Okay.
You guys gotta act better.
Do you want the truth? There was 200 kids here drinking.
I've already known.
Drinking, okay? And you're drunk as well.
I'm not drunk.
Yes, you are. I smell.
I'm not drunk.
What's so different than what they already knew? They didn't know she was drunk also?
Oh, man, that's the best part at the end. I'm not drunk. The cop says you're drunk as well. I'm not drunk. Yes, you are. You're slurring your speech. In the opening of the audio bite, I don't even know what she said. Tell me what she says here.
Well, you know, I'm a teacher. Who the you put who got put in that car?
Well, it's a kid.
You put the what'd she say? and then at the very end, you put the in the car. And then the cop says, you got drunk kids and you're drunk.
There's like 200 kids here drinking.
I've already known.
Drinking, okay? And you're drunk as well.
I'm not drunk.
Yes, you are. I smell it.
I'm not drunk. That's the clearest thing she says. She snaps right at it. I'm not drunk.
Yeah, she got sober all of a sudden. She's slurring her speech. She reeks of alcohol, apparently, according to the cop. Wait a minute. It gets better. All right, here's the second clip.
Well, I'm saying, but I'm concerned.
And you're intoxicated, too.
Oh, who cares? So I could get in your car and ride with you or call me.
Because he's 17 and he was here drinking at a party.
Why are you yelling at me?
Because you're yelling. You're here with your boss having a party with 200 kids who are drinking. Get out of my face. Now.
So the cop, he was very patient, but then he lost his patience with this lady.
All right, the cop kind of lost his patience a little too soon. She wasn't yelling. She's drunk. All right. All right, officer. Calm down.
I'm not drunk. God. So that's, and then, remember, it was a principal and a teacher, and weren't they were middle school. I think they were from a middle school.
Or elementary.
Was it elementary?
Something.
They worked at a
it wasn't
school.
even high school.
It was a weird school age that they taught.
Yeah, so why did they have like 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds underage, but they didn't even teach at a school where the bulk of the kids went because the kids were older, but still not old enough to drink. That's some crazy stuff right there. All right, you ready for the latest fun with online dating apps? Ladies and gentlemen, fun with online dating apps on the MJ Morning Show. Here's a woman. Look at this. She posted her demands for meeting a guy on Hinge, right? Again, let me say this for the umpteenth time. I am so thankful that I missed all this online dating stuff.
So are all the women.
Unless Michelle comes to her senses and dumps me, and I got to go back on the market, and I'm gonna find myself on Hinge. Yeah, thanks for the thanks for the snide comment over there, Fester.
That's literally the only thing I'm here for.
All right, so this woman has a checklist on her profile. So a guy recently matched with this woman on Hinge and shares on Reddit screenshots of their conversation and of her list, her checklist on her profile. So she's got an 18-point list of stipulations.
Like what?
For a potential marriage partner.
Do dishes.
Here's the list. You ready?
Take a shower.
So it's titled Bare Minimum for a Husband.
Yeah.
These are the bare minimums. And she makes numerous requirements involving money. All right, here, you ready? Here's the list. Loves me deeply and puts me first. Okay, I'm all right with that.
Not bad. Yeah, okay.
That's Number 2, financially successful, $300,000 plus for salary.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Generous and spoils me, sophisticated, enjoys luxury, emotionally intelligent and confident, chivalrous and protective, ambitious and disciplined, family-oriented and well-connected, fit, attractive, well-groomed, takes control and makes plans, keeps his word and values trust, supports my goals and lifestyle, fun, outgoing, socially respected, prefers privacy over social media validation, loves traveling and fine dining, sexually disciplined and loyal. What does that mean? Sexually disciplined. Does that mean you don't?
Means not gonna run around on
don't
her?
stray, don't stray and waver around, and then handles pregnancy prevention no hormones for me. So the guy, what does he have to get snipped, or does he have to wear a...
She's not going to be on any kind of birth control or get any kind of injection or any kind of device that prevents her from getting pregnant. That's all on him.
She could put an IED up there.
No, it changes a hormone balance.
I'm joking.
I'm
joking. It was a joke.
It's IUD.
IUD.
IUD?
Yeah, not an IED. I wanted to see if anyone would catch that. All right. And then finally, makes life easier. Maid, chef, etc. in parentheses.
I don't know, man.
You know what? The list is not bad. I mean,
it's not that good
It's
either.
actually a very intelligent list.
What? That's not an intelligent list at all. What are you, crazy?
Why is it not an intelligent list?
I'm bringing home 300 large for this family, and I got to buy a box of condoms. I got bad news for you, sweetie.
Right. I'm just saying, sophisticated, enjoys luxury, emotionally intelligent, and confident. I'm just saying that it's a fairly intelligent list, but you know, this guy was taken aback, I guess, at the salary demands. That if you want to be any husband material that I'm going to consider, you better be making at least $300,000 a year.
I think when she puts a monetary amount on it, it becomes instantly very petty. And
Yeah.
you can pick everything apart.
Right.
Andrew, our producer, just asked in my ear, is Hinge that kind of website where you're going to find a quality guy for potential marriage? I don't. Is Hinge? Listen,
I don't know.
I know Tinder is more of the hookup deal, right? I mean, I know that there are.
I think they're all kind of hookup-y.
Yeah. Well, I know that there are some that are supposed to be better than others. Like I hear that the best for marriage material is something called Ashley Madison.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
You ask them all to marry you, but none of them do.
Yeah. But Hinge is. What does Hinge say?
It says Hinge. Dating
Oh,
app.
the dating app designed to be deleted? Oh, because you're gonna find your match. Go on your last first date. So it seems like Hinge is trying to
Best for beautiful profiles.
What?
PC Mag has it listed as best for beautiful profiles.
All right, so Hinge is not like just a hookup wham bam site, right? Or an app.
I think they're all hookup wham bam
Yeah.
sites.
I feel
You
like
know what?
that.
I'm going to start a dating site just called Wham Bam.
Okay.
What do you think? I'm going to start a dating app called Wham Bam. Is that available?
Yeah.
Wham Bam.
Get ready to have a lot of profiles of dudes.
You know, it was very early this morning, Fester, when we did the tribute.
Yeah.
I think we got to do the tribute again.
It's only appropriate.
From Hollywood, it's Tic Tac Ho! All right. Okay, I'm sorry. Tic Tac Dough.
We're trying to do a tribute here to a man who's passed. We're playing arguably the greatest theme song of any game show.
Hold on, you think this is the greatest theme song?
Arguably, it could be. It's in the conversation. It doesn't stop.
By the way, I've got 3 minutes of this.
I know. This song slaps, man. It goes and goes.
So this is the theme song for the old game show Tic Tac Dough, not Tic Tac Ho. But that'd be a great resurgence.
It would.
Speaking of hookup dating sites, Tic Tac Ho.
Can Wink Martindale's body at least get cold before you start coming up with Tic Tac Ho?
I thought Wink Martindale was fantastic. Why we playing the Tic Tac Dough music? Because Wink Martindale has passed away. His family confirmed yesterday that he died at the age of 91. That's a good run.
Yep.
That's a good run. And when he died, you know what happened? Even though he was never affiliated with The Price is Right, they played The Price is Right loser horn. Now listen, it's all kidding aside. Rest in peace. Wink Martindale, he was the host of Gambit. I remember like being sick in like second, third grade, like early 1970s. And, you're home at school. And back then we had like 4 channels. And I remember like Gambit. Gambit was one of the game shows. So the one he was most well known for was Tic Tac Dough. What else? He did host High Rollers. So in the obituary, it's like, and he hosted High Rollers. That was really Alex Trebek's show. Alex Trebek was the longer host of High Rollers, and Wink Martindale only did like one season for syndication of High Rollers.
So you know where Wink got his start?
Yeah. What?
You know where Wink got his start? In radio.
Yeah, he started in radio. A lot of these game show hosts started in radio.
So read this story here. He was born in Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah.
He started his career as a radio disc jockey at age 17.
Yeah, so he had a connection to Elvis as well.
So WPLI, right?
Yeah,
he made
$25 a week. That's like the Beasley salary now.
You're right. But then he moved across town to another station where he was hired away for double the salary.
$50 a week. Yeah.
We're going to give you 100% raise.
Yeah. I believe that he played Elvis's first record on WHBQ in Memphis, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. He had a 9 p.m. to midnight shift.
Anyway, I don't think that Tic-Tac-Dough is the greatest game show theme of all time. Listen, I like Tic-Tac-Dough, but I don't think it's the greatest of all time. I mean,
what's a better theme?
I like it.
I love Match Game, as you know.
Yeah, but that's
I love the $20,000 pyramid. The Feud. The Price is Right. Those are all great. I think Tic-Tac-Dough actually is behind that.
No, I mean you're leaning into sentimental stuff here. I mean, Match Game is a good, but it's it's not that great. I mean, Tic-Tac-Dough is dancing music. You can play that at the club.
Andrew agrees the Family Feud beats out Tic-Tac-Dough.
I said arguably. I mean, there's a couple of great ones, but it's not The Price is Right. It's not Match Game.
And from Family Feud, I use the Family Feud X buzzer. That's from Family Feud. Also, this also.
Yes.
That also is from Family Feud. Oh, you know what else? What about this one? See if you know which game show this was. That Joker, and the Triple. Remember that? Remember that?
No.
You don't remember the Joker's Wild?
No.
With Jack Barry? Anyway, Wink Martindale, rest in peace. But Fester has a list of what he considers game show royalty.
Wink Martindale's certainly on that list.
Would you like to go over the list of game show royalty just quickly? Who you think the greatest game show hosts of all time are?
I mean, there are a couple of people had to leave off that list. I mean, the Mount Rushmore of game show hosts.
Oh, that's right. That's what you called it, the Mount Rushmore.
Well, you only get to pick four. You get to pick four.
All right, so give me the Mount Rushmore of game show hosts. Who are they?
Bob Barker.
Absolutely.
Bob Barker. Alex Trebek.
Yes.
Wink Martindale's on the list.
Okay, I'll give you Wink. And there's one more. Come on,
I left one off. What did I say? I forgot. What is
the guy that kissed the women on the lips?
Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson.
Yeah, right.
Those would be the Mount Rushmore of game show hosts.
I had to leave off Pat Sajak. He's more.
You know what?
There's a lot of tough calls.
No, Pat. Pat.
Bob Eubanks. I had to leave Bob Eubanks off with the dating game or the newlywed game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Bob. Chuck Woolery. I had to leave him off.
Chuck
you know
Woolery.
What? Oh,
Not every president makes it on Rushmore.
Yeah, you're right.
You only get to pick four. That's what makes it so tough.
Yeah,
just pick four dead ones.
But wait a minute. Should Wink be up there then? Because
I think so.
No.
I mean,
I didn't even know who the guy is.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. What was the one you just said? What was
Chuck
the big
Woolery,
one? No, before that.
Bob Eubanks.
Bob Eubanks.
Before Bob Eubanks.
Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak should probably be up there before Wink Martindale.
No, that's like ranking presidents and putting Barack Obama second. He's in current times. You don't have the perspective of history.
Yeah.
All right. Fester has a revelation to make. Fester sent me a note last night when he sent over some show prep ideas. Are you kidding me?
Never. Not once in my
Come
whole
on,
life.
you got to be, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
As I'm watching it, I'm like, I've never seen anything like this
No.
before.
All right. Fester sent me a note last night that he watched his first black and white movie ever. What? Yeah, what exactly?
Yeah.
How is that remotely? That can't be accurate. Fester had to watch a black and white movie for a school project for Hadley. What it was a book report, and you explain why you watched this black and white movie.
Because apparently in public school, they expect kids to read. And Hadley has to do a book report or a project on the Agatha Christie novel.
Wait a sec. So instead of her reading the book, you watched the movie like on Amazon Prime?
Part of the project is comparing the book to the movie.
Okay.
Come on, MJ.
Yeah. So it's a full report. And we've done this with other book reports we've had in
Your
the past.
kid's in 7th grade? What grade is she in?
7th grade.
Right, your kid's in 7th grade, and they've got her reading Agatha Christie books?
One of the most problematic books in the history of literature, by the way.
And then there were none.
And
it was also a 1945 movie, which I've never seen the movie.
That's the one we watched.
But hold on a minute. How can you never have seen a black and white movie?
I've never seen.
You never saw Young Frankenstein?
Hold on. When was that out? That was out like in the 19. I've never seen a movie like a Turner Classic movie.
Hold on.
Young Frankenstein was 1978?
No, Young Frankenstein a little earlier than that.
Okay, but still, that's a Mel Brooks flick.
Maybe 74, 75.
Okay, fine, but that's in modern times,
right?
They were every other movie was color.
Andrew confirms that Young Frankenstein was 74.
The joke about Young Frankenstein, it was in black and white, but I've never seen.
What about Eraserhead? Wasn't that in black and white?
I don't even know what that is.
All right.
I've never seen a Clark Gable movie. I never saw like the original Gone with
Hold
the
on.
Wind.
You never saw Casablanca? You never saw Citizen Kane?
No.
You've never seen Citizen Kane?
No.
You freaking caveman.
Right? I mean, any movie that would be on Turner Classic Movies, I've never seen any of them. None of them. And there's great movies and they have famous actors and, James Cagney?
You ought to go back and, with the term gaslighting so prevalent these days, you need to go watch the old black and white film Gaslight, which is what, from was that the name of the movie? Remember we watched that?
Yes.
From 1940 or something?
I don't remember now.
I bet you I'm not the only one. I mean, MJ, listen.
You're not the only one your age who has never seen a made in black and white movie because that was the limitation of the time.
This movie is 1945.
Oh, wait a sec. Have you seen The Wizard of Oz?
That's what I was thinking.
Because it was black and white before Dorothy got clocked on the head.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I think of that as a color movie. I saw it after it got colored.
Right.
Well, it turned into color when she was dreaming about Oz.
Yeah,
I don't think it counts.
I don't know that I've ever really sat through a whole Wizard of Oz.
What?
The whole thing?
With your kids?
Yeah.
Paul, you ever see any Twilight Zone episodes in black and white? What about like the Munsters? Or the Addams Family.
That was a TV show.
Yeah, he's talking about a movie.
This is a movie. This is before TV shows. 1945.
I don't know.
And
that's
then
ridiculous.
There were none.
That's ridiculous.
And how was the movie?
It's terrible. I mean, the acting is so Dame.
Yeah.
Who do you think the murderer is? As Lombard is smoking 100 cigarettes the whole movie.
Wait, and what was Hadley's assessment or critique of the book? Did she enjoy it?
We're in the book right now. The whole thing is just a bucket of sucking.
Okay,
it's awful.
you know what? Guess what?
What?
I agree with. I do not understand the love for Agatha Christie. I've tried to read a couple of those books, and I'm like, I wish there were none.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to get a lot of hate for that.
Hold on, you wish she never was born?
I just wish that. I mean, I don't understand the whole Agatha Christie thing. Like, I've tried to read a couple of them. Yeah.
I mean,
is it like Agony Christie for you?
Yeah.
The book was published in the 30s. We're trying to get through it. But,
yeah. Good luck, Hadley.
Moving along. Guess what? We can't escape this whole Katy Perry stuff and so there are more things involving Katy Perry and the women that went up in the space capsule and
leave Katie alone.
Thank you very much. What are they saying about her now?
All right, so Michelle, you want me to leave Katie alone?
Yeah.
just like we should all
Leave Brittany alone.
leave Katie alone.
She's a nice girl.
All right, a couple of things. Number one, now it is being suggested or being pointed out, I should say, that they're really not astronauts.
Yes.
That they did not meet the qualifications to be called astronauts according to FAA rules. So they were dubbed the all-female crew of astronauts. But listen, if there were 6 guys up there and it was the same thing, they would not be astronauts.
Right.
Because first of all, it was a glorified multi-million-dollar rich person carnival ride. I mean, that's really what it was, because the actual classification and qualification is that you have to be in control of the mission. And they had zero control. They were just passengers. They were like strapped into Kumba. I mean,
yeah, it's like riding a roller coaster and becoming an astronaut afterwards.
There's no pilot. No one was controlling any aspect of the mission. So therefore, according to what the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, classifies as an astronaut, you have to play a direct role in piloting the flight. And none of the crew members had any role in piloting the flight. So they're space travelers. They're not astronauts.
Okay.
So Katy Perry did not put the ass in astronaut because she's not an astronaut.
Jokes, people. I think when they talk about these women being like, "Oh, astronauts," well, I don't think they're like trying to roster them on NASA's website and put little plaques up somewhere that says, all 5, 6, whatever female astronauts went into space, blah blah blah. It's just we're just using the term very rhetorically, just jokingly.
I'll tell you what would have been hysterical. If Gayle King barfed all over Katy Perry. That if Katy Perry emerged from the capsule all covered in Gayle King barf, that would have been hysterical.
I mean, was she the one most likely to throw up? I mean, I think there were a couple of...
You saw Oprah was crying. I mean, I think she threw up just watching the thing go up.
Yeah.
Oprah was saying, "I'm glad it's not me."
Right. That's what maybe they came to them and said, Oprah or Gayle, and Oprah was like, "You go, Gayle.
But
you
wait,
go, girl."
They went to Oprah first, and Oprah was like, "Hey, I got to pass, but here's my friend Gayle."
But wait, there's more. Did you see that Wendy's?
Yeah.
Wendy's, the fast food restaurant, is shading Katy Perry.
Why?
That's what I want to know. I mean, really, why? Leave that to us.
I'll tell you now.
And listen, I like Katy Perry. I do not dislike. I know that she has gotten into the issue with the home sale with the 85
with the 1-800-Flowers inventor.
Yeah.
Don't call him the other thing.
So she's in this whole legal battle and lawsuit
Who cares?
with this home involving the 85-year-old veteran and the founder of 1-800-Flowers. But also, another listener pointed out that Katy Perry also got into that big beef with the nuns. What happened with the nuns? It was some with a covenant?
Yes, their structure. Is it called a covenant, right? They owned it. They sold it to her. I guess maybe there was some misunderstanding on what she was going to do with it, which I don't know what they thought she was going to do with it. Convent. Yes, thank you.
A covenant, something different.
I was repeating what he said.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to renege on the deal as well. And she fought them and won.
Yeah.
And I think she turned it into a home.
Yeah. Thank you to Swordfish Mixer, who is a follower of mine on Instagram. She sent me a direct message reminding me of the whole Katy Perry nun situation.
Why? Katy Perry legally stands her ground and honors contracts
well,
that
hang
she
on.
signs and
Let's,
you sign?
All right, let's get back to Wendy's.
Sounds like somebody you'd be a fan of, MJ.
Right.
Back to Wendy's.
Of all people.
Wendy, listen, I never said...
No, you're kind of giving her crap. You're like,
I'm not. I like Katy Perry. But then, why is Wendy's giving her crap?
Because Wendy's, MJ, I tell you right now, Wendy's has the saltiest public media or social media guys. They are sharp-tongued.
Yeah, they'll get into it. If there's something like in pop culture going on or some news event, they'll come up with like kind of a pointed take.
Yeah.
They're just jumping on right now.
Right.
Look, everybody's talking about them.
It's a hamburger stand.
Yeah.
You know?
So listen to this. Wendy's, they put up on social media after Katy Perry came down and kissed the ground, Wendy's tweeted out, "Can we send her back?"
Why?
Wendy's
What do you have against Katy
wants to
Perry,
send
Wendy?
Katy Perry back into space. Can we send her back? Oh my God! So, they let's see this is the official Wendy's account on X. That they reposted photos of her kissing the ground and said, "I kissed the ground and I liked it." Remember, I did the same damn joke even before I saw this, because I played the "I Kissed the Girl" hook yesterday. And I'm like, "I kissed the ground, I kissed the ground." So they tweeted that out. And then someone commented regarding Wendy's comments and said something about her, Katy Perry was only in space for a total of 10 minutes. And then Wendy's, they tweeted back, "Don't shortchange her. It was 11 minutes." So, Wendy's is just getting in on it. And I guess they've been known for their sarcastic social media posts.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's Wendy's.
Yeah.
But another way to add a layer to their company or stay in culture is to have a very active social media platform. Good for them.
Listen to this. Guess which singer then backed Wendy's up and then posts a picture of her sipping on a Wendy's cup?
Taylor Swift.
No. Kesha. Remember Kesha?
I love Kesha.
So Kesha then tweets out a picture of herself with black sunglasses on, smiling at the camera, holding a Wendy's cup, sucking out of a straw, seemingly agreeing with Wendy's, "Send Katy Perry back." And for those that are saying, Kesha, what did Kesha do? She had a bunch of hit songs back.
She did.
Like 15 years ago. Remember?
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
You're playing the wrong version. She's had that edited out.
She removed that lyric.
Yeah.
She did?
Yes.
Oh, that's I remember that. Oh,
I still love them. This is good music from that time.
Yeah, played the crap. Anyway, Kesha getting in on the shading and the poking of Katy Perry.
When does Q105 play the best of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s and we start playing Kesha?
Well, we are Q105, Tampa Bay's hits of the 80s, 90s, and more.
We can't just drop some Kesha and say it's...
Chloe's going to see Kesha?
No, I didn't say Chloe.
Who?
I said Julian.
Oh, Julian. I'm sorry.
I ever tell you the time I almost got attacked by her manager?
Oh, which one?
Hold on. You almost got attacked by Kesha's manager?
Yes.
For what?
We had a radio station concert.
Yeah.
And Kesha was there.
Yeah.
Right? So we're all backstage, and Kesha's talking about how she wanted to get her ear pierced right now. But nobody
I vaguely remember the story.
Nobody had equipment to pierce an ear. And I said, "Hey, don't worry.
Go get an ice pick.
I'll take care of it." It was the Christmas party concert, right?
Oh, was this like the Jingle Ball?
Yeah, the jingle.
It was
ball.
one of the Jingle Balls.
And I took an ornament off of a Christmas tree with a wire hook, and I was like, "Let's ice up your ear."
Hold it, you were going to pierce Kesha's. Oh, you know what? I do remember the story.
And
you told this story way back.
I had ice on Kesha's ear with this needle that I fashioned out of a Christmas ornament, and I was about to stab her
through the earlobe.
Yes, through the fleshy part. She told me where she wanted it.
So Kesha says. She was like, what, the spontaneous, music star? I want to pierce the ear, and I want it now.
We should get pierced ears tonight.
I'm sure she already had a ton of them, right?
1,000.
So she wanted a new piercing.
And I'm like, I'll take care of it for you.
She could have asked for another piercing spot.
And I've taken care of that, too. When I had ice up to her ear, and I have the other needle in my hand, or the ornament in my hand, and her manager walks in. "What the bleep are you doing?"
Was it Dr. Luke?
And I forget. I'm like, it startled me. And Kesha's like, "No, it's okay. I want my ear pierced."
What do you think? You were going to stab her with a...
It wasn't violent or anything. I'm standing there, with, in a measured tone, but I'm kind of like lining up my jab just as he walked in. And he's like, "Kesha, you're not getting a ear pierced by this fat slob."
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, speaking of Christmas ornaments, this is a good... I had this a little later in the pile, but I'm going to kind of move this up. 8:48 at the MJ Morning Show. We're still going strong. Still got a little chunk here of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Don't forget the Cash Kitty's back at 10. So little over an hour from right now, hour and 11 minutes from right now, hour and 12 minutes from right now, you got a shot at another $1,000. So at 10 a.m. right after the MJ Morning Show, then 12 noon, 3 o'clock, and 5 p.m. today, your chance at $1,000. I don't know why you wouldn't do this. I don't know why you wouldn't take 5 seconds every day to listen at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. Listen for the keyword and then text it. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. It takes you 5 seconds, and you're instantly in the running for the $1,000. So that's certainly something I would do every single day if I were eligible. So here's the deal. Speaking of Christmas decorations and with something else, with the whole tariff talk, is Christmas in jeopardy this year, or at least all of the stores that sell Christmas decorations, because all that stuff is made in China.
Yeah, where do you think that's made?
My parents were in the Christmas decoration business since the 1970s. They had a huge Christmas warehouse in Virginia. And keep in mind that a lot of the styrofoam products that my dad made were used for like Christmas decorations,
holiday ornaments
but
and stuff. Yeah.
at their factory in Portsmouth, on Broad Street in Portsmouth, Virginia, my dad had this massive factory where they made the styrofoam products. But they had a huge portion of the factory that was turned into a retail store, and it was called. It was originally like Santa's Christmas Factory, and then it became the Barn, and They bought so much stuff from China. I mean, all the Christmas trees. I mean, we're talking about containers and containers, loads of Christmas, and all made in China. And now you've got Christmas stores that are not placing Christmas orders, or they're canceling orders because of the tariffs. So all the Chinese-made Christmas ornaments, which is 100% of everything for the most part.
All of them.
It's going to be hit with a 145% tariff. So Christmas stores are reeling right now. And you know, speaking of other holidays, what is the other holiday-centric item that's reeling right now?
Easter bunnies?
What?
Easter stuff? I don't know.
Well, no, egg prices are high, but the eggs are not coming from China. Come on, let me give you a hint.
Dreidels?
What are you, a moron? Come on, dude. It's the 4th of July, the fireworks.
Yeah. Oh,
fireworks.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you have a relationship with Galaxy for years.
Yeah, a wonderful place, and I can't imagine them tacking on 145%.
Well, that's where the tariff is right now. And keep in mind, every firework is made in China.
Why couldn't
because you hear about factories blowing up like every year?
That's the only reason why I know that.
Yeah.
Because every year there's a spectacular video of a firework factory going up somewhere.
Or downtown Beirut.
So why couldn't the president exempt iPhones, watches, and fireworks?
And Roman candles.
That would have been awfully American of him.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, but seriously, Christmas decorations and fireworks are like under the gun right now because of the huge tariff increases. Yeah. Oh, you want to hear about a really, really, really bad boyfriend?
How bad?
A Michigan guy did not want his girlfriend to go on a cruise.
Okay.
Phoned in a bomb threat to the ship that she was getting ready to get on. What are you laughing at? Michelle, what are you laughing?
I mean, people phone in a bomb threat if they don't want to go to court or if they don't want to have a final exam, but to ruin it for I don't know how many other passengers on a boat.
Yeah, there are like 5,000 people on those damn cruise ships.
Right.
And a whole lot of norovirus.
Do these bomb threat phone calls ever work? I mean, the guy's caught.
Here are the details. I got to hurry because I don't want to get too late here. How long's our... we're good. All right. A Michigan man who was upset that he had to watch pets while his girlfriend's family went on a cruise was sentenced to 8 months in prison for making a false bomb threat. The emailed bomb threat forced Carnival Cruises to check over 1,000 rooms after the ship had departed Miami in January of 24, according to federal prosecutors. Anyone making a bomb threat should expect to be taken at its word. Fortunately, this particular hoax did not result in physical injury. According to Assistant U.S. Attorney Nils Kessler, Joshua Lowe, 19 years old, was sentenced to prison during an appearance in federal court in Kalamazoo. FBI agents traced the email address to Lowe. What a schmuck. Who was living with his girlfriend's family. So the girlfriend goes on a cruise with her family. He's left behind, has to watch her pets. So he decides, I'm not having any of this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to email in a bomb threat to Carnival. If I can't be on the fun ship, no one's going to be on the fun ship. So they traced the email address back to this moron, and then he admitted that he sent the message because he was upset the family went on the cruise while he was left behind to care for the pets.
What kind of pets do they have?
Yeah, he apologized in a letter to U.S. District Judge Paul Mulroney. This is my fault. I take full responsibility, is what he wrote in the letter. Still, he's getting 9 months in prison. What did I say, 9 months or 8 months? 8 months.
Is he banned from Carnival forever?
Yeah, I'm sure he's not going to be on a Carnival ship anytime soon. 8:54 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20. This brings to a close an hour and 20 minutes. So over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ ends right now. But good news, I got a lot of stuff for the 9 o'clock hour, and that is next. Oh, I got a bridesmaid story you got to hear. The bride has a specific stipulation for her bridesmaids. Let me give you a hint. Ugmo. All right, hold on a minute. You got to hear this. You got it. Next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Once again, the tribute to Wink Martindale continues on the MJ Morning Show. Of course, the theme to Tic Tac Dough. Oh, that's definitely a Mini Moog. Definitely a Model D Mini Moog. All right, 9:01 at the MJ Morning Show, 9 o'clock hours here. You know what? Incidentally, I just did the cruise story where the bonehead boyfriend called in the bomb threat via email.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I've got like a couple of other additional cruise stories I'll get to in just a second. First, though, the bridesmaid story. The bride-to-be. What was my little hint? What was my...
I don't want to give out the whole thing, but my hint is Ugmo.
I love the word Ugmo. You don't hear it enough.
Is that even a word?
It's not a word.
You know who? You know who used to love the word Ugmo?
Hey, Ugmo. Who?
Martin Giles, the greatest radio news guy of all time. You know, for years, if you're an old MJ and BJ listener, and then of course the MJ Morning Show after BJ left. Our news guy, who we brought in for headlines every morning, was Martin Giles. And he was the best. Loved the guy. I was the best man at his...
At his wedding. Yeah.
Do I still have my Chinese...
inspired garb that you wore?
The outfit?
Yes.
Do you have that put away somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, so as the best man, it was... Because Martin was a white dude. His wife, Ping... was Chinese, and they had like a traditional Chinese wedding. And as best man, I had to dress up like Fu Manchu. Is that? Am I allowed to say that? Is that
no, you're not. No, you're actually.
Or what? So
you're actually going to get a letter now from the Asian American Defamation Foundation.
Anyway, so and I still have the. It was blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a blue like kimono, but kimono's Japanese. But it was just like a.
It was an outfit.
Yeah.
A costume.
Yeah. Anyway.
And they named their daughter after you.
What?
I think the daughter's name was like Mary Juanita or something.
Oh, really? Forever.
It was like Mary Jo or Mary Jane, and so they called her MJ. So we always had a joke about that.
Martin's daughter is prevalent on public radio here in town.
Yes. Susan Giles.
Yeah, Susan Giles. She's an anchor.
She's NPR.
Yeah, NPR, exactly. And, you know, so the Giles legacy continues, but her dad was the best. Loved him. And he used to work Ugmo into stories all the time.
A real Ugmo got arrested by Tampa police. 24-year-old Rachel Bender.
That's what I love.
Blah, 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 whatever.
So let me go back to the bridesmaid story. All right, what do you think the bride's doing?
If she doesn't want Ugmos, then she wants...
No, she wants Ugmos. She doesn't want any bridesmaid to outshine her and look better.
Is that I mean, I think every bride doesn't want to be shown up by their bridesmaids.
The bride is under fire because she picked all ugly bridesmaids for her wedding. So what happens? If you have a friend that's good looking... You have to slight the friend by not having the good friend as a bridesmaid because you want all Ugmos as your bridesmaids?
Well, did she announce this? Like, look, I picked my 5 ugliest friends because, or did other people look at it and go, oh, we see what you did.
Wait,
you picked 5 hideous friends. Like, I don't know who decided that she picked the Ugmos.
Your best friend is like a total dime and you pick the girl with like facial warts.
Well, that's the point. Well, so the woman is getting married, and this has stirred up a debate online on social media. Her sister claimed, the bride's sister claims that her sister intentionally picked unattractive, awkward, non-photogenic bridesmaids so she would appear more attractive in her wedding photos.
You know what? I mean, that's so weird because then you have pictures of this ugly of this herd of ugly women on your mantle forever.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, this was from Reddit. This is from the Am I the A-hole, the famous AITA forum where people want to know, hey, am I the bleep hole here for doing this?
Oh, so we don't have a picture.
We do not have actual pictures.
Oh,
No,
see.
No, we don't.
You know what they say? Pixar didn't happen.
Yeah, the story that I saw, it was all like Getty stock shots of like weddings and bridesmaids and all that crap. Thought it was interesting. Fester, you want to know how the driver of the electric scooter did not see the Pinellas fire truck?
I mean, I have questions all the way around because the truck was responding to an emergency, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They were on a call. And generally speaking, fire trucks don't just cruise around on calls without a lot of awareness.
A person on an electric scooter bashed into a fire truck yesterday afternoon, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Happened about 2:20 yesterday. It was a Pinellas Suncoast Fire and Rescue District truck.
Yeah, middle of the day. It's not like it happened 2:20 in the morning.
They were leaving the station to go to a call. They were headed westbound on San Rafael, just north of Seminole Boulevard?
Yeah, in Seminole. I don't know exactly where it is.
A person on a motorized scooter was northbound on Del Prado Drive West. They ran a stop sign and barreled into the fire truck. Yeah, the driver saw the driver of the fire truck in their peripheral vision, attempted to steer the truck away and brake to avoid the collision, but the scooter just bashed right into the fire. What was the truck? This particular Pinellas, what color are their trucks? Like Tampa Fire are red.
I don't know.
You got some
I've seen
departments
yellow
that
ones, I've seen white ones.
kind of the yellow, the Gatorade color trucks.
It's a
Blue.
Pinellas County Fire.
There are no blue fire trucks.
I'm sure every different municipalities, there's all kinds of things.
Anyway, do they stop and render treatment to the person that ran into the fire truck? Do they quit going to the call they're going to?
What about the person whose house is burning down or needs emergency service? They have to wait that much longer for emergency services because this idiot on a scooter couldn't see a fire truck?
Yeah. The scooter had inoperable damage. Sounds like the scooter driver's head has inoperable damage. Yeah, the fire truck had minor damage, the equivalent of a gnat hitting the windshield.
Yeah, right.
There was minor damage to a back roll-up door and the cover panel of the back outrigger.
This guy's a real moron, right? He's holding up a lot of things.
Yeah, the victim was taken to a hospital nearby.
By whom? Another ambulance had to wait for another guy?
Well, this is a fire truck they hit, but an ambulance, I'm sure, took the schmuck. And the scooter is destroyed.
Obviously.
I wonder if it was one of those people on a scooter that had their license yanked because they had a DUI or something.
Wouldn't be surprised if this guy was stone cold drunk.
Oh, man. Unbelievable.
So it looks like it was a red truck. I'm looking at some images of Pinellas Suncoast Fire Rescue District, and they're red trucks. But I've seen several different color trucks over the years in different areas.
Listen to this story. This is also from Channel 8. A woman called Channel 8. Why do you call the MJ Morning Show?
What happened to her?
Hey, Tori, why are you calling Channel 8? Better call MJ. So this woman gets a hold of Channel 8 after a body was found in her neighbor's apartment.
Ooh.
And the apartment complex has not yet cleaned the apartment up after the incident. And apparently the smell is horrific. Say what? She says the smell is so bad she can't go out her front door. An apartment building at the Park at Lake Magdalene Apartments and Townhomes in Tampa has its door propped open. Deodorizers are on the bottom floor, but Tori Castle said the problem is coming from the unit upstairs next to hers. It was Thursday morning that I finally made another call about the smell. It was so horrendous, I could not leave the front of my apartment. Kind of like rotten eggs and cheese. How long was his body in the neighboring apartment?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, God, this gets worse. Over the course of a month, she says that she asked the leasing office to check on the neighbor.
Oh.
The neighbor had expired and had been, like, dead in the unit for a month?
Oh, that's terrible.
All right, Fess, you got to get me the phone number for the Park at Lake Magdalene Apartments and Townhomes leasing office.
Why, you want to rent that one? You want to lease that one?
No, it's an 800 number. I hate that. It's going to be
all these apartment complexes are now owned by corporations.
Owned by private equity companies and all that crap. Come on, there's got to be a local number.
Not on the the internet.
Go deep. Oh, it's owned by Morgan Properties. It's.
You want to schedule a tour?
Yeah, I want to know. I've got a real thing for dead body smells. I want that unit.
Okay, so if you want the dead body unit, it's an upgrade. And there's an advanced charge. There's a higher deposit.
Oh, boy. So can you imagine for a month, you're like, hey, can you check on the smell? And the tenant
All right, I have a question
is
about
dead next door?
I have a question about the person who's making this complaint.
Yeah.
If I genuinely had concern for my neighbor.
Kick in the door.
Well, or call
the police.
The police.
Yeah, call
911.
that's a good point.
They do wellness checks. I mean, generally speaking, it's been my experience, and I haven't rented a ton of apartments. I think I've rented like 3 apartments in my whole life.
Right.
But the people who work in the leasing office of apartments are morons. They are idiots. And you're asking them to do something of some degree of responsibility?
So Tori Castle noticed there was a package outside the door for a week and a half. There was also an eviction notice on the door.
That's a good sign.
And then the smell that was then wafting into her apartment. Why did this leasing office go into the unit? You got packages outside, eviction notice, no one's answering.
Car hasn't moved.
A smell for a long time, and they're not going. And the tenant next door is complaining, hey, there's a terrible smell. You know, immediately you think that someone or something died in there. How do you not send in the maintenance dude or something with his tool belt?
If you want the living space that matches your personal lifestyle, that keeps you away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life.
Is that what it says?
Look no further than Park at Lake Magdalene Apartments. Amenities include a gym, a beautiful pool,
and rotting corpses.
Every other apartment.
And rotting corpses.
Spacious studio, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for all your dead body needs.
They're knocking them dead over the Lake Magdalene Apartments.
I mean, they have availability.
What's the name of the whole place?
Park at Lake Magdalene Apartments. You know, you hear Tampa is in like a housing crunch.
Yeah.
There's one available.
Well.
I mean, maybe not yet.
Right.
And change the carpet.
This is terrible. And the story goes on.
Dude.
So the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office confirmed that they were finally called to the apartment where a dead body was found. No other information available at this time. Castle said that authorities removed the body.
Thank you.
I will say the smell has dissipated with the body's removal. It's just not. It's still there. So she says, I will say the smell is dissipated with the removal, but there's still a smell. You don't want to use my front door right now. So she emailed the leasing office saying the health department referred her to a biohazard waste company. The complex needs to hire the biohazard waste removal company.
At what point do you call a lawyer to sue this place? I mean, there's a degree of distress.
You got to go to crime scene and murderscenecleanup.com.
That's a real thing, man. That's a big business.
Channel 8 went to the leasing office yesterday, and they were sent away and told to contact corporate. Yeah, good luck with that. This is nuts.
Call corporate.
Yeah. Tell you what, they need zero res out there to clean the carpet. I could probably hook that up.
Poor zero res guy.
They'll run. Hey, hang on. What's this sound? That's zero res getting the hell out of there.
What do they get? They get 2 rooms. They get 1 free or something, right?
That's
It's a hell of a time.
Yeah, right now at zero res for the rest of the month, you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just the price of 2. So you get
really a great price.
You get a whole room free from zero res. Make sure you tell them MJ sent you. Yep.
That dead body's not telling anybody anything right about now, but we still could use your services.
And I said I had a couple of additional cruise stories. You know, when it rains, it pours. You ever notice that sometimes you get a whole plethora of similar genre stories? All right, a couple of other cruise stories. So if you missed it, we had a cruise story at the end of the last segment as we were closing out the hour, 20 minutes of Nonstop MJ. Story out of Michigan where this boyfriend was pissed off that his girlfriend and the family went on a cruise out of Miami from Michigan, and he was left home to watch the pets. So he emailed a bomb threat to Carnival Cruises, and they tracked it. They arrested him. He's going to do 8 months in federal prison for this. So here's the deal. Another cruise story. Guess who's been laid off by the CDC?
The Centers for Disease?
Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has laid off.
Well, like the
whom?
The ship safety inspector?
You know what? I'm gonna give that to you. With all of the cuts, all the Doge stuff going on, apparently all of the CDC cruise inspectors have been fired. They've been laid off. So these are the ones that would investigate norovirus. And of course, there have been some ships, rife with norovirus lately. Didn't we have a ship come back to Florida recently with 200 and something passengers? It's shooting out of both ends, man. It was the the norovirus of the seas or something. All full-time employees in the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's vessel sanitation program. So it's not just investigating when there's an outbreak, but it's also the inspections.
They do the inspections primarily.
And to make sure that these vessels are all clean, they're following all kinds of protocols to prevent outbreaks. Now, even when you have prevention, you still have an outbreak from time to time. But, I mean, how nasty is it going to get if you have all full-time employees with the CDC vessel sanitation program laid off, even as a ship that was laden with norovirus pulls back into port in Miami?
So they really have no responsibility to clean it.
Yeah, so the jobs have been eliminated. Those that worked on the monitoring and the tracking of anything that had to do with any kind of a health and safety or some type of health outbreak on a ship. Now they're gone. So what's going to happen?
Did they get rid of the whole office or just
all full-time? Listen, all full-time employees at the CDC that are involved in the vessel sanitation program have been let go.
Sounds like it's most of the office.
All right, and then the final cruise story. Remember the story we had where this CEO for a financial firm choked out another passenger on a cruise ship because he was dancing on a table and told him to knock it off?
The wife told him to knock.
Yeah, the wife, and then the husband goes nuts and just starts beating this guy to a pulp. Fired.
What?
Well, listen to this. Yeah. Cruise guest charged in choking incident has left his CEO job.
No, why?
I got this from Cruise Hive.
It's a good site.
You've never heard of Cruise Hive?
No, it's a disease you'll actually get from going on the cruise. You get
Imagine,
hives.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. What kind of terrible name for a website? Cruise Hive.
I used to love cruise fungus.
Is this a website for what? The cruise industry and
You
Cruise
realize-
Hive. How about cruise boil?
Yeah,
how
that's
about,
a great
How
one.
about cruisepustule.com?
Okay, that name was not available.
You know there is another definition for hive.
Yeah, it's like a livable space.
Like a
What?
beehive. Like a beehive.
Thank
like
you.
a-
I think that's what they mean.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not how it's printing when you talk about diseases on cruise ships.
Yeah. When I think of cruise hive, I think of like some kind of a cruise hive, and my throat's closing up due to a peanut allergy, and I gotta jam myself in the leg with the pen.
Doctor, he either has seasickness or cruise hive. One of the two. It sounds very medical.
How about cruise scab?
I mean, that's after the fact. Once it starts healing up, you
How
have
about
cruise
cruiseimpetigo.com? Anyway, Kenneth DeGiorgio, formerly the chief executive officer for First American Financial, has left the company. A statement put out yesterday. While vacationing aboard the Resilient Lady, as she was leaving Martinique on March 31st, DeGiorgio allegedly choked another guest after the guest made a rude gesture to the suspect's wife, Nicole. Yeah, the incident happened in the ship's On the Rocks bar. Yeah, his career's on the rocks. And was all caught on security cameras inside the venue. Yeah, and the FBI got involved on this one, on the high seas.
Why?
According to FBI statements, the victim of the assault, identified only as M.A., raised his middle finger and spewed vulgarities to Nicole after she asked him to put his shoes back on while dancing barefoot.
He should be fired.
The husband approached M.A., attempted to choke him out, according to the statement from FBI Special Agent William Walters. Yeah, security was called. Kenneth DeGiorgio was taken to his stateroom, and they confined him to the stateroom until the next port, which was San Juan in Puerto Rico.
Can they lock you in your room?
Listen, they've got like a detention cell on these ships. They've got a morgue because people, you got old cruisers that expire, and they got a morgue on these ships to take care of dead bodies when somebody, died of old age or a heart attack, or in your case, gorging on the all-you-can-eat buffets.
That's the way I want to go.
They also have a jail. They have a lockup. They have a cell on these ships also. If you've got to lock up a passenger or a bad crew member.
Do any of your stories mention how
They
much?
also have a plank.
Arr. Shiver me timbers.
What were you saying?
Do you think you could choke out another person on the crew?
Yes.
Listen to me, you landlubber.
What is it? Is it the 3-second rule or the 5-second rule?
I've always heard 5 seconds.
Right, 5-second rule. So there's new science out on when you drop something on the floor, and
It takes you 5 seconds to hit the water from the plank.
No, I'm moving on. It's a whole different deal.
Arr.
All right. So when you drop food on the floor, is the 5-second rule, does that apply?
I've always heard 5-second rule.
What-
I might be wrong.
What does the latest science say about dropping something on the floor and then eating it? You got to hear this. I've got the science. And it's next on the MJ Morning Show. Oh, and also, I'm going to tell you how to have a perfect day. Science is also out. I've got the formula. Wouldn't you like to know how to have the perfect day? I'm going to tell you next, and a lot of other crap.
With a tall glass of orange juice to prevent the scurvy.
No. It's all next. Final chunk of the MJ Morning Show with a lot more than that as well. Next here on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hey. 31 at the MJ Morning Show. 29 minutes away from the Cash Kitty. Cash Kitty at 10 o'clock. Another word. Another chance for you to win $1,000 at 10 o'clock. Exactly 29 minutes from right now. Cash Kitty, 10 o'clock. Then Cash Kitty again at noon. Cash Kitty at 3. And Cash Kitty again at 5 o'clock. Your chance to win $1,000 every time. Now, we start it every morning at 8 o'clock. That one obviously just passed. So stand by. Hey, the 5-second rule. I've heard 3-second rule, 5-second rule. I think 5 seconds is probably the most common.
Mm-hmm.
What does science say? You know, we've talked about these over the years, but I guess there's a new scientific experiment. And a researcher used, the appropriate equipment. Nicholas Archer is his name. And he's a Chicago-based microbiologist. And he has shot a video, and he's saying, hey, let's put the 5-second rule to the test. And what he did is he used a dish, and the dish was placed on the ground, with the media that's used to grow the bacteria. And he puts the dish on the ground for various time increments, ranging from 0 seconds to like a minute.
Okay.
And you know what it shows? Does the 5-second rule hold up? So if you drop food on the floor, as long as you get it within 5 seconds, just munch it on down. What do you think? Yes or no?
Yeah, it should be fine.
No. Bacteria joins the conversation immediately, the moment it makes content. So there's no safe amount of time. So for this latest experiment, he placed a Petri dish on the ground for these various time increments, and then he put the samples in the incubator, and he incubated I guess he would put it in a cultivator and incubated in a cultivator, whatever the terminology is. And
did he put any of these samples with stomach acid that would kill all of this stuff?
Good point, Fester.
Yeah, seriously, this is junk science.
No, it's not.
It is.
Microbial growth began immediately. It didn't matter how it was.
I'm gonna kill it immediately when I eat it and it hits my tummy.
Okay, so yeah, that's why people get sick.
This
no,
is nuts.
I don't know that I would eat it in any event. It's on the floor. It's just gross. It's on the floor.
It also
You're walking, your dogs are there, and
It depends what it is. Like a hard piece of cheese, no
so
problem.
the scientist, wash it off.
Give it a quick rinsey rinse.
Listen, let me tell you what happened. So when I was away in the Philippines, the kids, and Julian was home for a chunk of time, they went to Trader Joe's.
Okay.
And they bought all kinds of frozen crap. I mean, Michelle, how much crap did the kids buy at Trader Joe's? They went through... They bought stuff I didn't even know Trader Joe's had.
Right.
They went through the frozen section of Trader Joe's. They bought 30 freaking boxes, little mini pizza bites. She bought the mochi, the
mochis.
The mochi,
yes.
The rice paper covered ice cream balls. I don't know what they bought. They buying pork belly and
yes, I was informed that we did not have enough room in our freezer when they returned from Trader Joe's, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I guess start eating right now.
They bought so much crap they couldn't even put it all in the freezer.
No.
So there's still remnants of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, I saw the mochi ball, the ice cream ball, which is wrapped in that thick, gummy, gooey, rice kind of
rice
dough.
pastry almost. Yeah.
So
I took it up. What is this? And, I've had the mochi balls in the past. I like them.
They're unique.
Yeah, she bought, I think it was like a mango mochi ball.
I don't know that I go out of my way for them, but
so I pulled it out, and it's in like a plastic tray. Fell out, hit the floor.
And
I picked it up. I washed it off. I just picked it up off the floor. I put it under the sink. I washed it off, and I ate it. Now, I did wash off the delightful kind of dusting of whatever that white powdery dust is. That did get wiped off as well. But listen, I think I probably wiped off the germs. But the scientist here, Nicholas Archer or Archer, whatever, he says, you know how much time is too long for the food to be on the floor?
Any amount of time.
0.
Yeah,
immediately. Yeah, the second it drops. So there's no 5-second, 3-second rule. Nope.
Yeah, that's why I don't hang out with scientists, with killjoys.
I know. Is this really necessary?
Yeah. So the amount of bacteria that's grown after the Petri dish was on the floor, the number of bacterial spores or whatever, it does get larger with the greater amount of exposure to the ground.
And as Fester points out, does what to you?
But the 1 second, the 2 seconds, the 5 seconds, they all had bacterial growth in the Petri dish. But the 10-second, the 30-second, the longer it was more, but they all have it. What we
Does it make you sicker? Is it the kind of bacteria that even makes you sick in the first place? Or as Fester points out, the kind of bacteria that, your stomach acid just kind of...
Bacteria is everywhere.
I think it depends. Again, it depends.
So my point is this really necessary research? Honestly, you're either in my camp or Fester's camp. You're either going to eat it or you're not.
You leave food on your plate, it's going to grow bacteria.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
There are things that have fallen on the ground that listen, you drop a piece of fruit on the ground.
Yeah.
There are certain items that you can wash off. A
banana.
Well, clearly that has a. You drop an apple on the ground. I'm eating the skin.
Yeah.
But if I drop the apple,
you wash the apple.
I'm comfortable in washing the apple off, and I'm pretty sure I got everything. But if you drop a square of lasagna on the kitchen floor,
scoop it up.
Yeah, put it under the kitchen sink and just run that lasagna under the water.
Put it in the microwave for 5 seconds.
No.
Big deal. Yeah, or 30 seconds. Kill the bacteria.
Get a blowtorch.
See, it would work. This is junk science. This person.
Anyway, so there you go.
This scientist should be ashamed of himself. We still have cancer in the world, but he's doing research on dropping food on the floor.
Will you stop it? It's a.
Are you going to let me do my thing?
Yeah.
Before it gets too late?
All right, Michelle,
you know that.
All right, do your thing.
Today's a big day.
Well, today's the big day for Mind Over Matter. This is the day. This week they're packing on Wednesdays instead of Thursdays because of the holiday weekend.
Right, hold on. Back up and say what Mind Over Matter is.
I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
Mind Over Matter is
Michelle and Chloe have become volunteers at Mind Over Matter.
Yes,
Great.
It's an organization that packs meals for food insecure students in Hillsborough County, and they get to take them home over the weekend so that they have something, to eat over the weekend.
Right.
And it's called Mind Over Matter, and they do the packing usually on Thursday nights, but because of the holiday weekend, they're doing it tonight. And Chloe and I will not be there, sadly, because we're traveling. But if anybody would like to volunteer, please visit mindovermatterinc.com. There's an email at the bottom.
Is it .com or is it .org?
.com.
Okay, all right. I'm
reading it right off the page.
Okay.
mindovermatterinc.com.
mindovermatterinc.com.
Just drop the email a line. It's Jen, and she'll be happy to help you out with, maybe volunteering, or if you would just like to donate.
And they need volunteers tonight.
Yes, they would love to have volunteers. The more volunteers we have, the quicker it goes. We pack like 600 bags of food.
It's in Tampa, and what church is it at?
Oh, you're testing me now.
Yeah.
I don't know because
you've been there numerous times.
I know, but Chloe does the mapping.
It's like Hillsborough something.
Methodist.
Something. Anyway, it's on their website.
Yes. So visit their website.
But they can use help tonight because they're packing on Wednesday night instead of Thursday because of Easter Sunday.
Look, they could use help every Thursday.
Yeah. And then if you want to donate food items, like packaged food items.
They have an Amazon wish list.
They have, or if you want to donate money.
Yes.
It's mindovermatterinc.com. Great local charity.
Look, it's a fabulous group of volunteers. Chloe and I have enjoyed it so much. We're going to continue doing it.
Is it the Hillsborough United Methodist Church?
That's what it is.
Harney Road?
Yes, Harney Road. Thank you, Fester.
Okay.
Yep.
No, is it 9008 Harney Road, Tampa, Florida?
Yep. So they need help tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. So go to the website, drop an email, and give them a hand tonight. Or listen, just show up.
Yeah, just show up.
Show up at Hump and visit them in
Hillsborough United Methodist Church, and it's on Harney Road, 6 to 8 p.m. tonight.
You don't have to say it. You can call it the acronym Hump.
Well, there's no P in there. It would be hump.
He's not doing a P.
Yeah.
Hump.
Thank you.
And Michelle and Chloe are not available to help because I got to take them to the airport because, Chloe's law school visitation quest continues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's Grand Canyon University this weekend? DeVry?
Yeah.
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix University. No. So, listen, I can say...
we're not talking about anything. We're not jinxing anything. We're not talking anything specific.
I'm not giving locations.
Yes, you are. You do that. You say, I'm not giving locations, and then you turn around and you go, you're flying into airport. It's like, okay, everybody knows now.
I'm not giving out school locations, school names, or airports.
Yeah.
But I can say that Chloe's showing continued interest. Can I say that?
No.
I can't say anything.
How about just don't talk about her law school experience, application experience right now at all
until she gets in?
Yes.
Well, she's already been accepted.
Okay. Okay. You know what?
She's been accepted. What?
I'm gonna walk out of the studio.
What am I saying?
You're saying too much. Is what we're saying. We're saying shut the look up.
I'm being generic and not.
You're not.
Okay, hold on.
She does not want you talking about this on the air, and now you're talking about it. Be quiet.
Am I in trouble now?
Yes.
Oh, because of that, I'm in trouble?
Yes.
Michelle,
So we're going to have a miserable day before I take you to the airport?
Probably, yeah. It doesn't look like you're going to have a good day.
What will make you happy? I said nothing.
Michelle, would you like to call the person that I know that's very high ranking at the Cooley Law School?
Absolutely. I'd love to have. Yes. Could you have a conversation?
I can help with that.
Thank you. Michelle, I said nothing. Anyway, you're traveling with. Can I say you're traveling with Chloe?
Sure.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a miserable ride home. And I did nothing. I did nothing wrong.
What part of the country? Going to the Midwest? You're going out west?
We're going to Canada.
Northwest?
I'm not giving any. I was never saying a location.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get a little more out of old Meech over here. Old Ironsides, not giving up anything. You going to Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and then Mexico.
Let me tell you, Michelle. Michelle.
She going to medical school or law school?
Michelle. She's going to Grenada.
Yeah.
She's going to go medical school in Grenada.
I got my law degree in Honduras.
All right. El Salvador.
Yeah, there's a bunch of prisoners to work on.
Yeah, I understand they offer a mean law degree at the MS-13 prison in El Salvador. All right. Michelle.
Yes.
Can I tell you how to have a perfect day? Let's wrap things up. This is a great way to wrap up the show. I have the formula on how you can have a perfect day. According to researchers at the University of British Columbia, so, over on the west coast of Canada.
Hey, they're going to Canada.
No, they're not going to Canada.
UBC.
No, they're not.
UBC.
All right. So they analyzed data from American Time Use Survey. So these Canadians, they use data from American Time Use Survey, and this is where participants filled out how much time they spent on 100 different activities, included everything from time spent with family, friends, how long you're doom scrolling on your phone.
Like brushing teeth is on there, getting dressed, taking showers, driving in cars, picking
everything
noses.
is on here. So they looked at what people considered to be their better than typical day and looked at how much time they spent doing certain things. And they broke this all down, and now there's a formula. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. Michelle, are you ready? Why am I just getting
That's about all you're getting right now.
All right. Researchers believe people should spend 6 hours a day of quality time with family.
Oh, my God. They haven't met my family.
Which should then be followed by 2 hours with friends.
Or my friends.
How do you even? You have 8 hours. You're already working 8 hours.
Yeah.
You better be working with your friends and family.
Wait a minute. After that, people should only spend 1.5 hours socializing. Experts think 2 hours of exercising is a good idea, but only 1 hour should be spent on eating and drinking. So during the whole day, only 1 hour. So
that might be right. I mean, how much time do you really spend eating? Quick breakfast, quick lunch.
Where's the work in this formula? So have a 6-hour workday with only a 15-minute commute and only 1 hour of screen time. So what about sleep? Obviously, sleep is high on the list as well, and they recommend the normal hours, of 6, 7, 8 hours, depending on the individual.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the formula. So if you want to be extremely happy, if you want to put together the perfect day, then follow that.
Hey, you know that this counter is going to collapse over here, right?
What do you mean?
The pole underneath is not attached.
You mean the leg?
Yeah, that one.
It's never been attached. Have you been kicking it?
I bumped it a couple times, and I'm like, what's going on under there? So finally, I just looked under it. I noticed that it's not even attached to the top.
Listen, I can't believe that we're still on the air out of this studio.
Fester!
Yeah, there's a lot of wiggle on this countertop.
Okay, yeah. So why don't you help it collapse, Fester?
It's just measuring the wiggle. We need to put the leg back. Stop kicking the leg, Meech.
All right. We're supposed to be in the new studio within weeks. I was promised by Ron Weasley, our general manager, I was promised we would be in the studio. Hang on,
end of the month, essentially.
No, I have the exact date. Hang on a minute.
I think it was like March 20-something, 26th or 28th.
I'm going to tell you right now, Ron Castro, let me find the exact date.
I think it was like Friday, March 28th.
He texted me. I think you're close.
Something like that. He's like,
hang on. I'm almost there.
He's like, yeah, that's the ticket.
30 days. On March 24th, he said 30 days.
Yeah, 30
days.
So
that would be the 24th of April. So that's coming up fast.
Is that your big, scary Ron voice over there, Fester?
Yeah, 30 days for you guys. Yeah.
The 24th of April would be not this Thursday, next Thursday. So I am promised that we're going to be in the new studio by Thursday, April 24th.
You haven't seen what's going on down there, have you? They are nowhere ready.
It doesn't look like we got a chance in hell of being in the new studio. I'll tell you what, there's a good chance of. Good chance of someone's going to win $1,000 in a few minutes. The Cash Kitty's back in 12 minutes. So 10 o'clock is 12 minutes away. Keep listening because you'll get the new word. We'll refresh your memory on the text number. You text the word to the text number, and you're instantly in the running for $1,000 with the Cash Kitty. And that's going to happen in 12 minutes right here on Q105, 104.7 FM. So 10 a.m. is coming up. Then it'll happen again at noon, then 3, and then 5 p.m. And then we'll do it all over again because tomorrow morning we'll have a Cash Kitty word for $1,000 at 8 a.m. tomorrow. With that, we shall exit the building.
Yes.
Michelle will not be here tomorrow and Friday. Michelle, I'm going to miss you dearly. And the audience will, too, because you do a wonderful job.
I think they'll miss me more than you.
Okay. So, Michelle, you'll be back on Monday,
What the
right?
hell does that mean?
I have no idea. Michelle, you're back on Monday, right?
No, I'll be too tired. I might have to take the day to recuperate and get reacclimated to the time zone.
You're coming back on Saturday night. You got plenty of time. All right, Michelle's back Monday morning. So tomorrow it's going to be Fester and me, and maybe we'll bring in another special guest. I don't know. I don't know. All right, 9:49, folks. Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. You need to email me. I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com. That's MJ at MJMorningshow.com. Any hot tip, gossip, anything you want to hit me up with. My private personal email, MJ at MJMorningshow.com. And follow me on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And let's be careful out there.
Hear the latest MJ Morning Show podcast on the Q105 app.